The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
But first, let's check the death count from the killer storm.
Well, Kent, as of now, the death count is 0.
Oh, my God. Damn you, Snow!
Hello, I'm Mr. Plow. Are you tired of having your hands cut off by snow blowers and the inevitable heart attacks that come with shoveling snow?
Uh-huh. You are fully bonded and licensed by the city, aren't you, Mr. Plow?
Shut up, boy. So remember, call Mr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Damn you, Snow!
The weekend.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
I hear you. Welcome to the Friday edition of the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. We got a little bit of snow last night, and the word is this is just the beginning. I'm trying to make the connection between the snowstorm and the song. Don't friggin' tell me.
Okay. What if I gave you the artist? Would that help?
No, don't tell me. Because, I hated the 90s. Every little single thing about the 90s, especially the music scene, I hated it. This came from the 90s.
Yeah, 1994.
Working here at the radio station, you couldn't avoid it.
I remember where I was the first time I heard it, walking around Lake Harriet, and I loved these guys.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the song is called Molly, maybe?
No, that's another one of their big hits.
I saw
it has to do with snow.
It doesn't have to.
It does have to do with snow.
I saw him in concert. I can't come up with it. Go ahead and give me the band.
Sponge,
right. The song is called... Oh, I got it. The song is called... Hey... What, did everyone forget how to drive in the snow? I mean, when I
Where's
drive
the bell?
around...
He nailed it.
I'm the only guy in Minnesota that knows how to drive. What, did everyone forget how to drive in the... That's
Turn
the name
your
of the song.
headlights on, man. It's snowing.
What is the friggin' song?
Plowed.
Ah, stupid. Turn it off.
No, I like this tune.
How do you like this song?
Oh, I think they're great. I actually went down a Sponge rabbit hole not too long ago and watched a bunch of their stuff. They can still do it.
Sponge.
I was the only person in the world who's probably, at least at that time, if not since 1996, who's gone down a Sponge rabbit hole.
Their family hasn't gone down a Sponge rabbit hole on YouTube.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Well, I like them. They got one fan.
Sponge. What's your band name? What do you got? What do you call yourself? I don't even know, dude. Well, we're going to put you on the cover of a magazine. Do you got a band name? I suppose, I don't know. Well, Sponge, I guess.
Just going to look around. Yeah, you're right. That's a stupid name.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. Like I said, this is just the beginning. The Sunday night into Monday is supposed to be a complete disaster. And we had this coming, right, Cubby?
Yeah, we deserve it.
And we all know it.
I think if you're, not all of us, but there's a lot of us who, given the choice at the beginning of winter, do you want no winter until a couple days at the very end? I think a lot of people would say, that's fine. I can handle a couple days.
Good trade-off.
Yeah.
We had this coming. We all know it, so suck it up. We've been on effing Easy Street all winter, having cookouts in February, people walking around in shorts. You knew winter was going to give us at least one good crack across the mouth before it gave way.
A buddy of mine, he's a big outdoorsman. Doesn't matter the time of year, and he's too old to do this, but he likes to go out and snowboard and all that kind of stuff. Again, he's too. If you're listening, you're too old to do this. And as evidence, he nearly killed himself on a mountain, I think in Utah. He and his wife went out there to snowboard. He was in a crash so bad. You know how sometimes those giant boulders, they'll just roll out right in front of you on a mountain?
This happened this winter?
Yeah, this winter.
He went all the way to Utah to find some snow.
Yeah, he was miserable, right? He was just a pissy bastard for a while.
I'm over the hill and I need to put a snowboard on my feet. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
He's just, he's crushing Red Bull. He's mountain biking in the summer, and then he wanted to get out there and do some snowboarding.
A boulder made a run at him?
Well, no, a boulder was just standing there, but to try and help him out.
Sure.
He crashed into this thing so bad that it was described as like he was in just a terrible car accident. broke a bunch of ribs, severed his aorta in a portion. I mean, his neck was all jacked up.
Whoa.
And he's in construction. He went back to work in 2 weeks. Okay, he's kind of tough. I'll give him that. But then he decided, I don't know, a month later to go snowboarding again.
No, I think I would call it quits at that point.
Yeah, he's nearly dead. He's coughing up blood. You know, I mean, he gets the ambulance, the new guy puking in the corner, the whole thing. It was bad.
Yeah.
He's too old. He's almost 50. Come on, give it up.
Wow.
It's one thing. It's one thing if you break this and strain that, tear an ACL. But you said something or another about the aorta.
Yeah, it was
that's serious business.
Maybe if he's listening, he could text me something.
Areola or aorta?
Aorta.
Okay, makes sense.
Back to us having like such a nice winter, and then now this happening. It was funny. Yesterday, I got in my car, and my boyfriend was like, "Where's your scraper?" And I was like, "Oh, it's back there." I was like, "It's under the golf clubs that are in the back of my car," because I'm like, that is the funniest thing. I got golf clubs in the back of my car, and my car is covered in snow right now.
Where's your scraper? It's back there underneath the surfboard.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Yeah, I forgot. I loaded up all the sand again yesterday in my vehicle.
You're just like an old sand loader yesterday. Yeah, you were loading up sand.
And then I realized one of the bags was open. That was very messy. That was a big mess.
Good.
Did I clean it up? No. I loaded up a bunch of sand. That was heavy. And but I did forget my scraper and brush.
Oh, no.
So hopefully it doesn't come down too much today.
You know what, Cubby? Every winter my sandbags get lighter.
Is that right?
Because as I'm loading them into the back of the pickup, I spill a handful of pounds out of each bag. They're so friggin' old.
Yeah.
I've used the same sandbags. The bag is disintegrating.
I gave mine away. Unfortunately for me, I love having pickups. That's usually what I have, but I didn't for about 2 years. I didn't have one, so I gave away my straps. I gave away all that kind of stuff to a buddy who got his first pickup truck. So they're all new except for one that came all torn up.
I got the oldest sandbags in the county. Every summer, the mice in my garage go to the beach. What a hell of a deal this is, though. It's Friday. That makes it a little nicer to be sucking on it wasn't that bad here yet. Not the worst in the world to drive in on a Friday. To drive in a snowstorm. Now, Monday's going to blow.
Yeah, it sounds like that could be pretty bad.
Because not only is it going to be twice or three times the snowstorm, but it's going to be friggin' Monday, and nobody wants to go anywheres on a... Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver are going to make an appearance later, and they're going to participate in our Friday trivia blowbang that we call Dad Fights. We got one of those lined up for the boys.
I'm glad you're in a better mood. It's probably the sponge. You're a fan. When you walked in here, the first thing you said, I believe, was, "I don't care."
Right.
Something to that effect.
Yeah. That's Fridays for you.
A lot of Fridays, that's how you walk in.
That was actually the second thing I said to you.
Oh, I missed it. I
you
was
had your
cutting some
headphones
stuff
on.
up.
I said, "Good morning, goat effer."
Oh, yeah. There's usually some sort of insult.
And then I said, "I don't care." Yes, yeah, Friday, that's my thing. Fridays, I have no worries at all. I don't care if the damn studios catch fire again.
It's great that you said again. It's true.
Just to point out that it has happened, so there is precedent.
Yeah, if you're a relatively new listener, our studio did, well, I should say our soundboard did catch on fire once.
Started smoking like crazy.
Took us off the air for a while. Yeah, there was definitely the way that smelled.
I loved that day. I loved it.
The way that smelled, it took a year off all of our lives.
It did, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then just driving home, I could still smell it just stuck in my beard.
Yeah.
So I was just huffing it all the way home.
We're all getting lightheaded.
Just took the clothes out in the backyard and threw them in the fire pit and lit it on fire. There's no coming back. No re-wearing those clothes, no matter how many times you wash them.
Stop whining. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Josh, there's another one out there. I got a text from one other person on planet Earth that likes sponge.
Oh, there's a few people out there that do. Yes,
not.
there are.
It's you and this guy.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't. But yeah, if you go back, there's a bunch of sponge fans. And Vince, he's great. The lead singer, had a chance to meet him. He was, this is back in our old building in Golden Valley. That one never caught on fire.
Oh, sure, Vince.
But there were there were mushrooms growing in the floor, and the bathroom smelled terrible, but it never did catch on fire.
Yeah, we never were at risk to burn to death at our old radio building in Golden Valley, but we did come close to drowning once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That carpet in the basement was the most disgusting thing I've ever stepped on. It was so gross. There literally were mushrooms growing out of the carpet.
Oh.
That was back when I was way into Dishwalla. I was.
Oh, yeah, counting
nice.
blue cars.
I'm kidding. I don't want to get into another conversation about 90s bands. We just did that a couple weeks ago. My blood pressure just skyrockets. I can't handle it. Over the weekend now, what do we got going on? Basketball this and basketball that and man, bear, pigs this. And then, as we mentioned already, snowstorm that. Once that all wraps up, we'll be back to work on Monday.
That's what I love about Fridays. We're so close to Monday.
Yep. Every second that goes by, we're closer to getting back here on Monday morning.
That's how I look at it.
So depressing.
That's been Josh's motto for decades.
Yeah, I've had that forever. I'm going to start reminding you when we finish the show every Friday, Ashley.
Don't do that to me.
Well, maybe eventually you'll get as excited as I do.
Ooh, and then on vacations you can remind her every day too.
You just start a countdown one day closer.
That much closer to seeing each other. You know, that's hurtful.
I guess when you put it that way, that would be kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Make it one of those paper chains you used to make in elementary school where you pull one off each day as you get closer to Christmas break.
I loved those.
Here you go. Take another one off. We're almost back to work, Ashley.
If I go too long without seeing you guys, I don't know what to do. Honestly, I get confused.
I'm with you there.
Extreme Bitch One Jesus said it was March 15th last year our board caught fire.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible that you know that.
Oh, it was a week ago.
Yeah.
What are you, some kind of
an anniversary?
You some kind of stalker or something like that? How the hell do you know that?
Maybe she's one of those people that just is really good with dates.
Some kind of sick, twisted. All right. Speaking of stalkers, speaking of sick, twisted people, how is it that one of you knows what our listeners are doing this weekend? I'm very confused by a piece of paper that was handed to me this morning. It says, with a blizzard allegedly coming up, here's what the brother and sisterhood plan on doing this weekend. How does somebody know this?
You asked on social media.
Yeah, it was a social media question.
Mm-hmm. Huh? We asked on social media.
You asked?
Yeah, so hey, we got a bunch of snow coming. What's everyone planning on doing?
Oh.
I didn't go door to door to the listeners' houses.
Why didn't you?
That would have been way cooler.
I was waiting for the snow. You know, I didn't want to get caught out in the snowstorm.
He would have got a lot of no's, Wapple.
This
moves on.
This threw me. All right, so you asked questions on social media. What are our listeners going to do this weekend with all the snow? You want to hear what they had to say? I do. Going to the liquor store and buying up so much booze it concerns the guy behind the counter ringing it up.
He'll probably just think you're having a party or something.
This all for you, pal? Do you need a...
You know, it's going to melt not too long from now.
Do you need a phone number for somebody?
Going to the liquor store and buying up so much hooch, the guy behind the counter gets worried. Okay. Hanging out in Arizona and laughing.
I hate you.
Yeah, there are a few people that texted in this morning, said they're on their way out of town.
Yeah,
on warm
it's
destinations.
Spring break time, right?
Go ahead. I'd rather be here.
Me too.
There are always those people that are on vacation in snowy Minnesota. They send a picture of the pool. Hey, everybody, hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I love those.
That's when you just go rob their house because you know they're out of town. That'll teach them.
Revenge.
I feel, I'm happy for the folks that bought sleds, this year and haven't had a chance to use them. So if you can get out there and do some snowmobiling this weekend,
I bet
they're pumped.
I know so many people that just put them away, though.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
That gimmick's always annoyed me, that the people that I know, people that I'm close with who now live or spend quite a bit of time in what they perceive to be great places like Arizona and Florida, right? Mm-hmm. That's always the first thing out of their mouth when you contact them. Hey, what's up? Hey, not much. 83 degrees here today. Mm-hmm. Especially, of course, during the winter. That doesn't work on me. I don't know why they think that work. I could not possibly get... It could be 75 below here today. And I'd rather be here than in friggin' Florida in 80 degrees. I don't know why they always run that bit by like they got one up on me. Shut it.
I'm friends with a bunch of baseball writers, and every spring training, when it's winter here, they always post a picture from the press box, the beautiful green baseball field, and they're like, hey, everybody in Minnesota, check out my office for the day.
Vomit.
Here's the thing. They might be weather bitches. We're not weather bitches.
No, not at all.
No.
Like you said, I'd much rather be here than anywhere, and that's really any time of year. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me at all.
So again, some of you were asking our listeners what they planned on doing this weekend with the snow. Here's another answer. Guy says, you would think that it would be a great weekend to have a lot of weird sex. My wife won't think that, but I'm sure a lot of other people will think that. Guy's looking to have weird sex.
I wonder what his version of weird sex is.
Well, what's your version, or what's any of our versions of weird sex?
Maybe foot stuff?
Yeah.
Foot stuff, sure.
Yeah.
Anything other than missionary.
All right.
Maybe that's a little crazy for you.
Anything involving a buffalo, live or stuffed?
Buffalo?
Preferably stuffed for safety reasons?
I guess if we... Maybe if we skipped something, like my wife's like, hey, no pegging this time, I might be like, okay, it's kind of weird, but
all right.
It's a long weekend.
I guess we're getting out of our routine.
Yeah, feet. Number ones, number twos. Okay. That's how I define weird sex, if you got those things involved.
Yeah.
What else is there? Anybody who wants to fantasize that they're a baby?
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And again, I bust Ashley's chops because she likes to yuck everyone's yum. Am I using the right terminology?
Yep.
Ashley loves to yuck everyone's sexual yums. I don't want to be that guy, but if you just ask me straight up, what do I consider a little weird? I'm going to say feet, number ones, number twos, and baby fantasies.
Getting your nuts stepped on.
Oh yeah, those. What do they call that? Crush porn? Is that crush? Something like that?
Sounds right.
I can't remember.
Ashley, you're...
Yeah, I don't want that.
Again, I'm not trying... I keep my eye on my own bobber, as I've heard you say before, Ash.
Ashley loves to use that slogan, but not live by it.
Yes, she does.
That's so true.
That is very true. And I don't like the phrase, but yes, I also don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but I find your attraction to blood during coitus disturbing to me.
I understand.
Yeah. That one to me is weird. If my wife's like, all right, we're about to go at it, first I need you to open this vein. To me, that'd be weird.
Let's get the knives out. Knife play.
Here's another listener talking about what they're going to be doing this weekend. Picking up my plow truck and praying to God that I get to go to work.
Yeah,
now, here's the thing. We don't want to hear your problems, Wapple said.
Yes, I did.
Man, Wapple.
I read this to Wapple off air, and he said, don't read that one. And I said, why? And he said, I don't want to hear this guy's problems.
I don't want to hear him bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if
cold-ass stance you're taking on this.
Yeah, it is.
Does that ever lose its luster if you have a plow? Because I'd want to use it all the time for everything. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what it is.
I would make up an excuse to use it.
Oh, look, there's people walking across the street. I can handle that. Just plow them right out of the way.
That's so funny that you bring that up, because I think you're right. That bit never gets old. I've never driven a plow.
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
so
either.
much fun. You guys would love it.
But I'll tell you this much. Oh, God, 25 years ago, my car broke down out of town. How old am I now? Yeah, this is probably 25 years ago. My car broke down out of town. Luckily, I was staying with somebody who had a couple of cars available. They had a pickup truck with a plow that, of course, this was in the summertime that
Awesome.
my car broke down. They had a pickup truck with a plow, obviously not using it at the time, and Chevy Tahoe. And I was with a lady at the time. She knew these people. And we needed a car to get back to the cities. And these folks with the pickup truck and the plow and the Chevy Tahoe said, well, you can take one of our two vehicles and just bring it back when you get a chance. Next time we see you, next time you come back to town. And I right away said to my lady friend at the time, I said, we're taking that freaking plow truck.
Yeah.
And she said, what? No. She was disgusted by the thought of it. It's July. I said, I got to drive this damn thing. And we had a big fight. In the end, we took the Tahoe.
I would absolutely love to drive one.
Yeah, even if just to have it hanging and swinging off the front of the pickup, I thought that would be great. In July, people would be, who's this effing guy?
That
What's
would be
he
cool.
doing?
Yeah, and I backed down. I did.
I'm going on one of 2 ride-alongs this month.
That's right.
Today. So if I could speak for my partner and myself as we're out there keeping the streets safe, drive safe out there today.
You're going on a ride-along with a police officer today?
Today, yeah. Today, and I've been looking forward to it for a while. He was nice enough to invite me out there. So.
Where are you going to go?
My partner and I?
Yes.
We're going to be just kind of making sure everybody's safe in the city of Lakeville, Officer Phillips and me.
I'm going to go drive around Lakeville today.
Yeah,
all day.
Hey, be careful in our town, all right, buddy? My partner and I, we're out there keeping the streets safe and crushing crime.
And this is radio, so only we can see Josh. He's actually wearing a police officer costume. Looks like you got it at like a stripper shop or something.
It's more of a vest. My shirt, it obviously is off underneath. You can see my chest. It's glistening.
You look great.
He brought back the mustache.
I should know this because for so many years we've had state patrol men and women as guests on the program, and plus we both know cops. You're not going to be just roadside servicing all day long. Is that the state patrol's job?
Yeah, they're the ones that would focus on.
Okay, so you won't be. I mean, I'm hoping that you have some excitement today, and I was just concerned that all you're going to do is you're going to find yourself parked behind a vehicle that went in the ditch. You just sit there all day and do nothing.
You know what's funny? That's what I'm hoping for. I don't need the excitement. My brother's a police officer. My cousin, we grew up in the same house. He's a police officer. I've been on a lot of ride-alongs. I like to do that kind of thing. I'm nerdy. I was in the police academy, or not academy, Citizens Academy in Prior Lake. So I'm essentially, I was on the force for a little bit. I wore the red and khaki with Target. Mm-hmm. So I'm qualified for this, certainly. I mean, you could ask my partner that we're going to be driving around with today.
Did you guys ever have police explorers when you were growing up?
I don't understand what's the words that are coming out of your mouth.
What do you mean by that?
So you can be a police explorer in our town, and I think most towns, and basically before you go to college, you could do this, and you work almost as a community service officer.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, my sister went through it for the Lino Lakes Police Department. She carries like a wooden gun and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet. That sounds really, really stupid.
Yeah, I could see Josh doing that.
No, you know what? I wouldn't go. I really do enjoy it. I love being around cops. I love this kind of stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't actually want to be one. I don't have the courage for something like that.
Here's the thing, Josh. I love you.
I love you too. You know this.
And I've pretty much loved you from the first time I laid eyes on you. But there was a moment where I thought, maybe this isn't the man for me. Maybe this isn't the right man for me. And it was when I found out that you joined the Citizens Police Academy. That's when I said to myself, maybe this isn't quite right.
Well, I lived across the street from it there in Prior Lake. And I had a couple buddies, and they're like, dude, you should totally do this. I thought, well, why not?
Yeah.
And, it was basically me and a bunch of 80-year-olds and then people on the city council and stuff like that. That's where I got tased.
Well, explain, what was your duties? What were you there for? What was the purpose of the Citizens Police Academy?
So they just kind of show you what a police officer does, right? I mean, they go through... not necessarily, I guess like the day of a police officer. They kind of teach you about what they're out there doing and things like that. And then they had a taser demonstration, and they were looking for somebody to get tased, and I was really hoping somebody would volunteer. Nobody did, and I thought, I'm going to feel like a wimp if I don't. So I volunteered, and I got up there, and I was a little nervous, and I had kind of joked around like, hey, listen, if I scream like a little girl or I pee my pants or something, we're sworn to secrecy here. We got to keep this in this room. And everybody agreed. And then, so the guy running the demonstration says to two cops, all right, each of you kind of grab a shoulder so he doesn't fall over once we tase him. And one guy's like, I'm not doing it. So I thought, we just got done getting this presentation about how safe it was going to be. And one of the cops was like, no, I'm not going to hold this guy.
He might get caught in the crossfire, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I'm not too interested. So I did it. And they're like, all right, let us know when you're ready. So I just gave the cop the double bird and said, F you, cop. And then that was it. Got tased. I took the ride. Wapple, you've taken the ride.
Mm-hmm.
We've both taken the ride.
But that was the only time. That was the only time I had any doubts about you being the one. I remember you telling me you were a part of the Citizens Police Academy. I went to the American Legion that night, and I'm sitting there crying in my beer, and this old Vietnam vet comes over and sits down next to me, and he goes, "What's the problem, son? You look down. What's wrong?" And I said, "Have you ever loved a man so much, but then had doubts and maybe thought that this wasn't the man for you?" And he got up and walked away and never came back. But the next person that sat on the stool next to me, heard me out, and I got over it.
Well, I'm glad you did. It was. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. Cool dudes there.
But that first old timer, when I said, "Have you ever loved a man so much?" He just walked away.
Yeah, I don't get guys sometimes.
I don't get it.
So yeah, just be on your best behavior in Lakeville today. Because my partner and I were out there.
You don't want to mess with Josh.
No.
That's exciting. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your partner.
I feel bad for him, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You guys are just going to be sitting at Popeye's Chicken all day long or something, right?
I am a little worried because there are times I pee a lot, and I'll be probably tired from today, so I'll be, pounding some caffeine or whatever. And I don't want to annoy him.
If you watch that sitcom Mike and Molly, all the two cops do is they just sit in the diner all afternoon.
I forgot you love that show.
It's a great show. So I imagine you guys, you'll get something to eat, maybe swing through the gas station, I'm guessing you'll have an easy day.
Yeah, I hope so. Honestly, it's funny because the cops will be like, hopefully it's not too boring for you or whatever. I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. I don't need all that excitement. I can watch TV for that excitement. I don't need to be involved in anything real.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody, if they have to bring somebody in, it's so awkward when they're in the back and you're up front and you're just a dork. I feel like even more of a dork. Especially if they're like, who's this out of uniform guy? I'm like, no, I'm just a citizen. I'm along for the ride.
Ignore me.
But you know what? I don't know, dude. I didn't see you do anything. I don't know what's going on with this cop. Yeah. I think he's got something against you.
I'm on your side, man.
Yeah, you seem pretty innocent to me.
All right, here we go. Good luck and be careful driving around town today. Might be a little iffy. We got plenty to do today, including our Dad Fights showdown between Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder coming up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll be right back on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the Just Capital seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 for ongoing commitment to their workers, with initiatives like Sharing Success, which awarded 97% of their teammates additional compensation, nearly all in stock. This is the program's 7th consecutive year, awarding more than $4.8 billion in total. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X. Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
A little time off we had. It went by fast, didn't it, Josh?
Yeah, just very quick. Time flies when you're having fun.
Off air is fun.
Some of the funniest stuff happens off air.
It's the on-air stuff that I don't enjoy as much. Well, my name is Nick, and I'm here to say that a teacher got fired just the other day. She didn't show up drunk or give a kid a slap. She says she lost her job because she loves to rap.
Nobody even knew I was a rapper until the parent kept continuously complaining. The first meeting that I had with the principal and the dean, they had told me that the parent wished to stay anonymous, and she felt as if she didn't like my rap career and that I was a bad influence on the kids because I rap.
Yo, watch the beat. You young people don't know this, but in the early days of rap, damn near every song started with the rapper informing us of his or her name and then that they're about to make an announcement. My name is blank, and I'm here to say. Damn near every song.
Now it seems
for years on end.
It seems the recipe for popular songs is you have a girl singer, girl pop singer, and then all of a sudden there's a rap break.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a rock song, you might throw in a guitar solo, but then there's a rap break with a rapper in it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the first to start that was, but boy, did that take off. Have you seen what this teacher looks like?
Yes, I have. We're going to get there.
Oh, God.
We are going to,
take one Hubba and add another, and you get Hubba Hubba, and that's this teacher.
Two of them, two Hubbas. You always knew who you were dealing with right away back in the day when you listened to rap music. You never had to ask a friend, who are we listening to? Because the dude told you right away, I'm DJ Rim Job or whatever. It was a hell of a gimmick.
There was also a stretch in the late 90s, too, where they would start each song kind of by telling the producer to turn them up in their headphones. That happened a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, they were always too quiet.
Yeah, turn me up in my headphones. Let me hear this. Let me feel this.
It's like they didn't practice ahead of time.
You know what, Josh? I'm going to go ahead and give this woman a third Hubba.
I've never heard that happen before. I didn't know you can do that.
No, you can't do that.
It's happening.
You can add a third Hubba?
No, you cannot.
Wow.
The max is 2 for each person.
Yeah, I think you can only get up to Hubba squared.
Yeah. Hubba Hubba. You can't go Hubba Hubba Hubba.
A teacher in Michigan, she's here to say that she was fired because of her rap career. Her name is Dominique Brown. She goes by the stage name of Drippin' Honey. That's a little bit gross.
Yeah, I don't like it.
If she's saying what I think she's saying. She was working over there at a joint called Taylor High School. Summers there in Michigan. And she says she was fired last month because she refused to erase material she had created for her rap career. And I'm guessing they mean she wouldn't erase it from social media. You see, a parent of one of the students complained to school officials about the content of Drippin' Honey's music after the parent saw one of her music videos. I watched a Drippin' Honey music video earlier this morning. She is hot. I'll take care of some of that drippage. I will. The complaint about Drippin' Honey's videos led to a meeting with the school dean. Not that dean.
Dean's pretty cool.
Yeah, not that.
I'd love to meet
not
Dean.
the dean we talked about a month ago. The school dean and the principal sat down to talk to Miss Dominique Brown, otherwise known as Drippin' Honey. She says she was told that the complaining parent felt she was a bad influence on her students because she raps and because of the content of her songs or her videos. She claims she was given an ultimatum to remove the content, but she refused.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to introduce a teenager to their first rapper that they've ever heard.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
Imagine being the kid of that parent who complained, you got the hot, cool teacher fired. Your parent did. Thanks a lot, man.
You know what? I didn't consider that. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get your ass kicked.
Getting stuffed in a locker every day.
It's ironic, I guess, that so she's given this ultimatum, take your rap videos off the internet or we're going to can you. A month later, she was voted Teacher of the Month by students, and she knew all along it was only a matter of time before she lost her job. Since she's lost her job, she has consulted with an attorney. She might make a little noise on this. That sucks.
That's too bad.
I mean, hopefully her career takes off, her rap career takes off, or she gets another teaching job. Because I'm a Drippin' Honey fan.
Me too.
This is great promotion for her career. She wants to keep pursuing rapping.
Good point.
In one of her videos, she's rapping at a liquor store, and in another, she's just over at her auntie house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like rappers do mention aunties a lot, don't they?
Or grandmas.
It's like when you listen to that garbage new country music. I can almost guarantee they're going to talk about Sunday, whether it be church or Sunday a meal that they have on Sundays, and they're going to mention a mason jar. I can almost guarantee it. For whatever reason, they're obsessed with what they have for dinner on Sundays and whether they or not they went to church, and then they're always drinking something out of a mason jar. I bet my life on it. But this poor gal, you know, like Josh said, oh no, God forbid a 17-year-old kid sees a rap video.
I mean, if you watch some of the rap videos, there's a lot going on in those that you might not appreciate your kids seeing. I didn't see any issues with what she has going on.
Oh, in the videos?
Yeah.
No, she's not doing anything inappropriate. She's standing there rapping into a microphone. Like I said, the backdrop for one is a liquor store. The backdrop for the other is her auntie house.
She is absolutely gorgeous, but only 2 Hubbas, Ashley. I'm sorry, you can only have 2 Hubbas.
Fine.
Bunch of stiffs out there that don't know how to have a few laughs. You know, that's what this. Where am I going next? You know, if any of you suddenly lose access to internet porn, just sign up for a few more of those Zoom meetings. Eventually, you're going to see some ass. Gonna see some ass. Here's a gal who dialed into a funeral with that Zoom gimmick, and she accidentally let everyone watch her take a shower. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure how this stuff works, but word is she opened up the Zoom deal so she could see into what was happening at a funeral. But she didn't know she had turned her camera on, skis. So she figured she'd wash her ass while watching in on the funeral. So she gets ass naked, she hops into the douche, and everybody got to see her soaking wet, naked body. Now, word is, she didn't just take a shower while she was in there.
Oh, boy.
She shaved it.
Yes.
That time of the month.
Did anyone else die at the funeral? Like all the old guys?
Some old grandpa Keels.
What if the corpse just sat up and went, you know what, I'm coming back. I forgot about this kind of thing.
I bet the dead person was sorry they missed out on this level of fun. She shaved it.
I've never seen something like that
She
before.
just got her leg up.
Yeah, that
awkward
They
positions.
said it came off like an OnlyFans video because, you know, she's got to get into certain positions.
Yup. That's great.
This, must have been, obviously it's an acquaintance, otherwise she'd be there, unless she, you know, maybe the funeral was in a different part of the world, I don't know, but...
Dude.
If it was somebody you're close to and you couldn't make it, you're probably not shaving your privates during the middle of the Zoom. Like you might want to pay a little more attention.
She shaved that poor thing for everybody at the funeral. But maybe the worst part of the whole ordeal is this here naked lady I'm telling you about, who was shaving her... She showed up later that same day for the visitation for the dead person, and she had no effing clue that everybody saw her naked and shaving her beef during the funeral. So she just walks in, hey, did I miss anything?
No.
What's everyone looking at me? What are you laughing
great
at?
Funeral. Top 5 funerals of all time.
That is an excellent story.
Oh, man.
Everyone's just pointing at you as you walk in.
Whispering.
The door. Yeah.
That's the girl.
You know, you might just secretly slip some poison into another family member's breakfast cereal. We got to get to another funeral here, and she's invited.
Man. I think you're right, though, Cubby. I think that body moved just a little bit.
Yeah, at least in one area, that's for sure. Dripping honey.
Yo, keep dripping. Wasn't one of the, because I was telling you earlier, I was researching the music videos of Drippin' Honey, the lady in Michigan, teacher who got fired for being drippin' honey. Wasn't one of the songs called, I think one of the songs was called Keep Drippin'. I dig that. Don't let it stop.
No.
Let it drip. All right,
keep dripping.
Yeah, keep dripping. This sounds like it could be good news. It could be. It could be that we finally have a story where a guy was accused of whipping off in public, and it actually was all just a misunderstanding. Because a lot of public whip-off sick perverts say that it was all a misunderstanding when they're caught pulling one loose in public, but they're just trying to get themselves off the hook. Maybe not this time. I'll tell you the story. You go one way or the other.
How terrible would it be, though, if all of a sudden you're labeled a public masturbator and you really weren't?
There's no coming back from that.
No.
You know, I mean, if you're a public masturbator, you want people to see it, all that kind of stuff. But if you're just a regular person on your way to work or whatever, and you're being accused of something like this, you're right. You don't come back from it.
Nope. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. We've had these conversations before, Cubby, where if you get busted whipping off in junior high by your pals, devastating.
Yeah.
If it happens to you in your 30s, who cares?
Nobody cares.
But whacking off in public, I don't care if you're 5 or 105. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
So to be accused of such a thing and you're innocent, I can't think of that. That would be absolutely awful.
That's one of those things where you're guilty even if proved innocent. But you're right. If somebody catches you, like I got an email saying, hey, caught you jerking off on your camera phone. You got to send us all this money or whatever, right?
Yeah, so?
And at first I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh God, how's this possible? I was warned this could happen.
Yeah.
And then I did think, I'm like, wait, no, I'm in my 40s. Who cares?
Who freaking cares?
Yeah, I'm not bragging about it. I didn't make the video on purpose. I'll just say, I can't afford what they wanted, so sorry you had to see me masturbate.
What, no one's seen a grown man whack off?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? You know?
But there was, my heart sank until I realized, this is BS.
It's a scam.
But even so, even if it wasn't, I did think, well, I'm going to tell the people closest to me, listen, you might see a video you don't want to see.
Yeah. Just don't click on it.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose, but I'm not going to pay this guy.
So it could be that we have an innocent man being accused of public, masturbation. This is a story about a security guard working in a town called Bengaluru. That's in Wisconsin. I'm kidding, India. He works at a town called Bengaluru. He works at the neighborhood train station, don't you know? He was caught on camera allegedly masturbating in front of passengers at the train station. But the guy's boss there at the train station says the guard suffers from itchy skin and was uncontrollably scratching his nuts at the time.
Have you had that happen, Nick, where you realize, oh my God, I'm adjusting or scratching in front of someone I didn't even think about it?
No.
Oh, I have.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I definitely have, where I thought, what the hell am I doing? I just, it's like I'm in my living room alone, and I just didn't think about it.
Just instinct took over?
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Even though the guy's boss has stepped forward and said the guy's got a problem with his nut skin, and he was tearing at it, scratching at it. He wasn't whacking off. There is still an investigation. An investigation is cut loose. We'll have to see where this one goes. I'm certainly hoping this guy just had a world-class case of hot nuts. The whole nightmare started because a video went viral on social media. It showed the guard touching his gear while apparently looking at a female passenger there at the train station. The woman said this. She said he was continuously staring at me and making some gestures. Again, the train station folks have a player's back. So damn, I hope they're right. They said he has itchy skin and is on medication.
Oh.
It appears... Did you miss that the first time? Well, you reacted so surprised that you might have missed that the first time.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, no. He has itchy skin and is on medication.
Really?
Is that so?
You don't say.
It appears that he felt a strong urge to scratch his bag area at the time. Now, here we go. Check this next part out. They said, additionally, he is squint-eyed, which is medically certified. Therefore, when he started scratching his wad and glanced in her direction, the woman may have interpreted it as staring. They're really going all out for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're protecting him.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny you say that because I was thinking that they're just telling the truth, but maybe they've just got his back.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know.
I never considered that maybe they were lying just to help him out.
The train station also did say the guard will be dismissed if our investigation finds him guilty. So we just don't know. It's just a rarity to hear the guy's boss step forward and say, no, this guy's got a couple of issues. I don't know.
This was squint-eyed.
He may have to pull his nuts out for a jury if he wants to escape this one. You know what I mean?
You know, right. Or at least get a doctor's note or something.
But the reason why I sort of believe the man is innocent, I've told you already about the old-timer that I worked with who just had a tick or he had some kind of fungus to where he was always pulling on himself.
I do believe this guy.
Did I mention this was at a warehouse that I worked at?
You didn't mention
I'm
that.
sorry if I've told this story before. This warehouse that I used to work at, this old-timer, poor bastard, he was a farmer. He lost his farm. He didn't have a dime, and he came to work at the warehouse. You know, I felt great sympathy for the guy. But yeah, he had a problem where he was always touching himself. But I could tell from the get-go, this wasn't perversion. He has whatever it was down there, it wouldn't leave him alone.
That would be awful.
Yeah, you don't want that for anybody.
Right.
You know, I've learned over the years that life a lot of times goes better when you learn how to react to things in a good way. And regarding masturbation, it's a story you've told a few times about a friend of yours at a time in his life where you get caught masturbating. It can ruin you for the rest of your life, but the way he handled it was perfect, and people left it alone. So there is a way out of a terrible situation. And for anybody that hasn't heard the story, you should tell it, because if you get caught, go this route.
Yes. This is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I mean, I've told stories about this guy throughout my entire radio career because he's lived such an incredible, buck wild life. But when he was 15 years old, he took the day off school or something like that. And he mainly took the day off because he wanted to touch himself. Little did he know, so did his best three buddies in town also took the day off. And they found out, you know, they come over to my buddy's place, and he's, with both hands. Just
I didn't even know he could do that.
Completely ass naked on his couch, spread eagle, porno movie blaring on the TV. And they're peering at him through the window. And they busted in on him. Gotcha! And he's didn't even even physically, he didn't even react to it. They all came in, gotcha! And he said exactly this. Well, looks like you guys caught me blowing off some steam.
That's perfect.
And it took all the momentum and all the wind out of his buddy's sails where they said, oh yeah, I guess we did. Because obviously, if he would have said, oh God, no, you guys, no, they would have went, you bastard, we're telling right? They would have made it even worse. But the fact that he just completely played it off like ain't no thing, it didn't become a thing.
It's a good life lesson because you can apply that to a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how young people feel about it today, and I'm glad I don't know this, but we had mentioned back in the day, if you got caught, that's it. That's the end of your scholastic career.
Right.
Everybody acts as if they've never done it. You're gross. I can't believe you do that. But then, of course, they're doing it all the time. I wonder if it's the same now. Because, we've mentioned this before. It's so different. And I grew up thinking, oh, my gosh, this is so sinful, and the shame and all that kind of stuff, right?
That's what I was taught. The shame.
The sin and the shame. But I'll have buddies being like, all right, I got to go. I'm probably going to jacket and watch a little TV. It's like a normal thing now, where I could never imagine that would ever be the case.
Right. It's a different vibe.
Is that the same in your group of friends, Dana and Wapple? I don't want to ask you, Ashley.
What, that it's just commonly talked about?
Yeah, you would just talk about it?
You just talked about it?
Yeah.
Not my friends.
Really?
Wow. Because you're younger than me, so that surprises me.
Yeah, it's not like we... Well, how many times do you whack it?
Well, you don't. It's not like that, but it's just like, oh, yeah, so I was jacking it the other day. And then, like there'll be a story like that somebody said.
Yes,
you know what, Wapple? And you won't hear me say this very often, but good for you and the Doink Gang. I'm glad to hear that you and your buddies, because honestly, I get a little irritated by the dudes who are a little too open about it. I know a couple guys who were 50-some years old and they still whacking off the other night. Dude, I don't care. I'm glad that maybe the next generation, Wapple's generation, is squashing some of that conversation. Because, okay, we know that everybody does it. We don't always have to be so open about it. I get disgusted by it.
Yeah, I think the only time we talked about masturbation was when my Bluetooth speaker was still hooked up to my phone.
I love that story.
And I was watching porn.
You know what, Wapple? I'm gonna masturbate to that thought later. I like the openness because it helps with the shame. It helps kind of get over that.
Well, that's the Catholic side of it. All right. You never know what might kill you dead. You just never know. This here effing guy, in today's Stupid News Report, in Texas. Well, the Stupid News Report isn't in Texas. It's in Minnesota. Here's a guy who almost died because of an ingrown pube.
Oh. Didn't know you could.
I wouldn't want that in the obituary.
He did. He almost died. He damn near checked out. A couple years ago, this happened. And at one point, his doctors gave him only a 4% chance of making it out alive.
It's incredible.
The poor bastard goes by the name of Stephen Spinale. He's in his 30s. He's got kids and such. The word is he attempted to pluck out an ingrown pubic hair, and next thing you know, he's walking into the light.
Uh-oh.
Now, I can't tell you what he exactly did wrong while handling that damn ingrown pube. There's no details on what the hell. What I can tell you is all that he went through once he landed in the hospital. Here are the highlights. Internal bleeding. He was put on life support. He caught sepsis.
Whoa.
He caught influenza and double pneumonia, along with acute respiratory distress syndrome. He was placed into a medically induced coma for 3 weeks. His family cashed in on him. They thought he was a goner. He had zero brain activity. He had to undergo open heart surgery. He spent 2 weeks in a rotating bed to aid his breathing and have fluids constantly drained from his lungs. All the while that ingrown pube is laughing its ass off.
Oh, I bet he got an infection. I've been told before, not to dig at an ingrown hair because it can lead to a pretty serious infection.
I thought you could dig those out. You're not supposed to, huh?
No.
Dude, the photos of him in the hospital look rough. Looks like a zombie. I can't believe all that happened.
That is the worst luck.
By nothing short of a miracle, it says here, he survived and was regaining the ability to walk.
Dang.
Recently. I mean, damn, what was he doing? Digging at that pube with a frozen dog turd or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did he...
Just going to pour a little Ebola down here.
That should take care of it.
Did he clean a bucket full of saugers and then use that same fillet knife on his pubes or something? What could cause such a horrible, horrible infection that...
These days when somebody's going through some big medical issue like this, some families will set up a GoFundMe. Would you want them to put the reason, like you were saying, Josh, in the obituary, that it is an ingrown pube?
If I'm on my last breath, I don't give a rat's ass what you say about me.
Would you feel more or less inclined to donate to a GoFundMe if you saw the reason it was an ingrown pube?
Probably more.
Yeah.
So more. I can tell people the last GoFundMe I donated to.
I wish there were more details on how this happened. What was he doing to it? Was it something out of the ordinary? Aside from just, I don't know, would you maybe get a tweezers out? Right? A tweezers? Would that be your first guess?
Absolutely.
The tweezers was filthy. He was,
Did anybody pluck him?
I don't know.
I've never.
I have no idea.
Even thought of.
I've never had that problem.
No, I usually just deal with it and wait for it to go away.
It would hurt a lot.
What would hurt a lot?
Plucking a pube?
I would think so.
Sure, but not as bad as what they mean. Hell, I'll take that pain over whatever the hell this guy just went through.
Those are scary, though.
That's true.
I had to, I went into the doctor to get an ingrown hair checked out because I was like, this doesn't seem correct. I thought maybe there was I don't know, it was a hard marble-sized bump, and she was like, oh, it's just an ingrown hair. I was like, there's no way.
I know that sepsis can get you in many different ways.
Oh, I had a girlfriend that almost died from that.
That's no good.
Yeah, one of my buddies came pretty close to checking out. Okay, more friggin' English, this and that. This is funny, but also not funny. It's a story of a gal in England. She got teased as a kid for having a big fat forehead. The kids in the neighborhood called her Five-Head.
I haven't heard that before.
You've never heard that?
Never heard that?
Oh, that's a classic.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I feel stupid for still laughing at it.
That's because you and your buddy are always trading stories and whacking off.
That one didn't get passed around in my neighborhood.
They called her.
You had one.
What's that?
You had one, and nobody said anything to you. Huh?
They called her Five-Head. So she signed up for something called forehead reduction surgery. She got her done. She's a total fox, and she's happy as hell with the results. Surgery to get her hairline lowered. She's a 27-year-old named Beth Halsey. She said she always hated the size of her forehead, and she was called Five-Head by the bullies at school. And I'll tell you what, it was a keeper.
Yeah, it was back there.
Really?
You could roll a set of dice across her forehead back in the
Poor girl.
It was a keeper.
I could see Lindahl with his arms out on that forehead.
Oh, man.
She didn't want to be in photos without her bangs down, I think is how you say it. She was afraid of being outside on windy days. And when I first read that, I thought, because the wind would catch her forehead and send her across town. No, because the wind would blow her hair back, and then everyone would see the size of her. After years, she decided it was worth spending, I don't know, it's an English number, 9,000 pounds. I don't know what that means around here. She spent the money to go under the knife and reduce the size of her forehead. She said the surgery was life-changing. She feels confident now. And I thought, I said it already, Josh, I thought she was foxy.
Oh, yeah. She looks like a movie star in some of her photos.
She looks like somebody. She heard about hairline-lowering surgery 2 years ago and decided to go for it.
Was that kind of what you did, Dana?
What's that?
Similar, the hairline?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they just kind of gave me a new hairline.
In the end, she said, as far as the pain involved in the procedure, she said, I just felt like she had a bad headache for a little while, and it was very manageable. So now her hairline is about an inch lower than it used to be.
I've been growing out my forehead for a long time.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I like it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Sharp.
Great.
Five-head.
That's sad that she got bullied so much that she ended up paying thousands of dollars to alter her face.
I definitely heard that growing up, that I had a Five-Head.
You did?
I did have a Five-Head.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have, well, we both have big noggins.
That's the thing. There's only so much hair you can grow, but my head is so large.
We both have pretty big noggins.
Yeah, I got the same thing, and to the point where I'd put up my hand, and I'm like, look at this. 3 fingers only fit. Only 3.
They used to say you had a big forehead, too?
I had a large head when I was younger.
Can I see? Can you look? You do not have a big forehead.
No.
Thank you. Yeah. That means a lot.
But that zit is out of control.
Oh, my God.
I know. I've tried everything. All the creams. It just won't go away.
You shouldn't even have come into work today.
Or left the house, for that matter.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You don't fill out brackets, do you?
You know what? Can I make an admission here?
Sure, yeah.
This tournament, how much can I follow in sports? I'm supposed to know who's on drink? This is crazy! Crazy! Valparaiso! I know names on Valparaiso! This is insane! I don't know anything! Maybe I'll watch the semifinal, but that's it! What can I do? I've got the Rangers. You know, I've got the Knicks.
Yes.
I can't follow all these teams.
All right, time out. I got a paper cut.
Oh, no.
God
sorry,
dang it.
man.
You get bad ones.
Rest in peace.
Take the day off.
Those are such a bitch.
Nobody acknowledges the danger of morning radio.
No,
and here
never.
you are. I mean, you put your body at risk every single day.
I got a damn paper cut.
God, those hurt.
I just dropped yogurt on my sweatshirt.
That's not yogurt.
That was pretty brutal.
Dripping yogurt.
Was that Larry David?
Yeah, Larry David.
Does he snort cocaine?
I love him.
That was a little extra for him. You know,
Yeah.
he gets animated certainly, but I haven't heard him that animated.
Time out. I got a paper cut. Here's the deal. The NCAA basketball tournament opening round games yesterday did produce a big upset. Oakland, whoever that is, beat Kentucky, whoever they are. But it was a big deal. We've talked about Oakland, actually, because they've got the student section that are shaving their nipples and this and that, right?
Yeah. I love their swim team, right?
That's the swim team. They show up drunk and they wax their nip. So that was a big deal. We'll get into it with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder in a half hour. Let me just tell you what else is going on. The Timberwolves are at home this weekend. Games tonight and Sunday versus Cleveland and Golden State. Golden Gopher dudes basketball. They got that NIT game tomorrow afternoon against Indiana State. Golden Gopher ladies basketball. They're in the ladies NIT. They play somebody tomorrow. It says here Cal, Poly, or Pacific. That must have been a late game that we don't know. The boys high school basketball keeps going. The Pigs are versus the St. Louis Blues tomorrow afternoon at the X. In a half hour, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Dad Fights. Stay tuned for Josh's news.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Business. Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Terrifying for the other parents and for anybody at daycare.
It's scary. I mean, I'm sending my kid to school thinking that he's going to be safe. I mean, nowadays, are they? I don't know.
A 39-year-old mother in Florida was arrested after she allegedly sent her child to daycare with a Glock 9mm in his lunchbox.
No, she didn't.
At about
Why would she do
coolest
that?
kid at show and tell, that's for sure.
Sent her kid to school with a gun?
Yeah. Well,
Always stay strapped.
She didn't have a purse. That's the story behind it.
Well, what the hell is going on here?
At about noon last Thursday, an officer with the Riviera Beach Police Department responded to a daycare in the area after a teacher called the emergency dispatcher and advised she just found a gun inside one of the children's lunchboxes. Upon arrival at the scene, the officer made contact with the teacher, who had already contacted Shanae Davis, the mother of the armed child, and returned the firearm to the mom.
And give me the age of this kid again?
In daycare. So I don't have an exact age. The officer then made contact with Davis, who said the gun was now stored in the glove compartment of her vehicle, where she normally keeps it. However, there's been some break-ins at her apartment complex, so lately she said she's been taking the weapon out of the car. She said on the morning of the incident she was getting her child ready for daycare and placed the gun inside his lunchbox because she doesn't carry a purse.
Things like that are extremely preventable. You need a gun purse. You need a plan with your gun. You have it in your gun purse. You walk in your home. It goes in a safe or a specific place, which is gun safe, just like you would make your child safe or make your pet safe.
Davis explained she simply forgot to take the gun out of her child's lunchbox until...
You thought the safest place was in a spot where your child is sure to go?
She did, yes.
Okay.
She said she didn't realize it until she got the call from the daycare. No one was injured in the incident, but Davis is scheduled to appear in court next month.
Is this shady, or is she just that stupid?
I think from listening to her talk, I think she's just that stupid. I don't think she meant anything by it. She was just being irresponsible, just careless.
The people that reproduce.
It does sometimes seem like you should have to have a license for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A Oklahoma woman saw her boyfriend texting another female and became enraged, stabbing him twice with a kitchen knife.
Ooh.
While the man was indeed texting another woman, it wasn't a lover. It was his aunt. Police in Duncan, about 80 miles southwest of Oklahoma City, responded 3 a.m. Sunday to the Creekside Apartments after neighbors said a man and woman were arguing.
Court documents state neighbors called police, saying they heard yelling coming from the apartment. When officers got there, they saw blood and had to break down the front door to get in.
Inside that apartment, police found blood all over the floor and a male victim wrapped in a blanket that also was covered in blood. A further search of the home yielded a bloody kitchen knife in the sink. In an interview at the hospital with detectives, the man said 19-year-old Natalie Clares stabbed him after he texted his aunt. Claire said she became upset when she saw him texting another woman, apparently unaware that was his aunt.
Well, what, you can't be romantically involved with your aunt?
I guess not. Not in her eyes. She told cops that she was under the influence of alcohol and marijuana and admitted she may have acted, quote, a little crazy. In another case of misplaced rage, a tourist visiting Disney's Magic Kingdom was arrested after forcefully snatching Mickey ears from a woman's head because he mistakenly thought the hat belonged to his daughter. It didn't. The victim was getting off a ride with her child and husband when she heard a man yelling behind her. She didn't realize he was yelling at her, and that's when he snatched the hat from her head. The woman bought the hat a few years ago, but the man argued it belonged to his daughter. He told police he got off a ride with his daughter, who asked to return to the Buzz Lightyear attraction because she thought she left her Mickey ears there. The man said he noticed the woman wearing the same style hat as the one his daughter lost, so he snatched it off the woman's head before her husband intervened.
That's just rude.
Oh, husband fights.
You know, how uncommon is it to see somebody with Mickey ears at Disneyland? Security and law enforcement officials took the tourist into custody, and he was charged with robbery.
Robbery.
A Long Island woman busted years ago for prostituting herself from her hot dog truck was arrested again this week for aggressively stalking a man at his job by exposing her breasts. 57-year-old Catherine Scalia, a mother of four, was arrested, showing up to the man's place of work 10 to 15 times a day and harassing him. She also repeatedly exposed her boobs to him at his job, most recently on Monday.
Well, she just wanted to bang this guy that bad?
I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. The former hot dog hooker has also shown up at his home on several occasions and bothered him there, he said in the complaint. He said he's filed numerous police reports about her in the past and has been telling her to leave him alone for the last 8 months. He apparently knows her from his previous job as a UPS delivery driver when he delivered packages to her house. In 2012, she grabbed headlines after she was caught selling sex from her roadside hot dog stand.
Get a wiggle with your wiener.
Is that just the perfect combination of things right there?
Yeah.
I can buy a street side hot dog and maybe get some skull, too?
And she has a great slogan.
Yeah. Get a wiggle with your wiener.
You get a wiggle with your wiener.
Oh, it better be more than a wiggle.
I love her.
She was arrested by an undercover cop after residents complained she was handing out suggestive business cards with her franks. The officer ordered 2 dogs and a water before Scalia announced her specials, as she called them. She took the cop back to her camper and performed a striptease for $100 before offering to manually stimulate him for another $50.
When I gave the undercover cop the lap dance, I had pants on. I didn't even go topless. They're real. These aren't silicone.
They aren't silicone. She's got real ones.
She sounds like I'd be getting a lap dance from Edith Bunker.
She is not the most attractive person I've ever seen. At the time, she told local media, "This is what I love to do. Sell hot dogs and show off what I got a little bit.
Word.
If you got it, flaunt it. That's what I say," she said.
Yeah, girl.
In 2016, she was back in the news after she put up a sign in her front yard offering topless lap dances on a swing. By the way, she never had permits to sell hot dogs.
$100 for a striptease, that seems outrageous.
Yeah, you get a hot dog too, I think.
Yeah, they throw in
that's true.
She's just living proof that if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
It is kind of weird. It's $100 for a striptease, but she'll take care of you.
Yeah,
she'll give you an orgasm for $50.
Yeah, she might want to rethink that price model.
The scale doesn't seem right.
I think a lot of folks are going to skip the striptease.
Yeah.
An Iowa woman was arrested Tuesday after police say she lit items on fire on a stranger's porch because they didn't answer the door. The homeowner said her security cameras captured a woman on the porch who lit something on fire, smoke seen in the footage. Officers found the woman, identified as 46-year-old Michelle Young. She admitted to starting the fire and told police she believed the home belonged to a friend. She said she also saw a sign that said, "Witches welcome." And because she was a witch, she lit some items on fire. No explanation. The homeowner told police she had no idea who Young was.
She told them a friend lived in the home, but the resident who saw the incident on her home security camera said she didn't know this woman at all and had never seen her before.
Young said she wasn't going to hurt anyone or let that fire get out of control. Then a Florida woman was arrested for allegedly setting multiple small fires, including one at a church, another in the back of a patrol car, and she did most of it while naked. According to the Fort Myers Police Department, about 5:32 a.m. yesterday, an officer put out 2 small fires, including one at Grace Church. There they found 42-year-old Taylor Payette naked and near the fire. When they put her in the patrol vehicle, she somehow started a small fire in the squad's door panel. She had been searched prior. However, police believe she may have hidden the lighter somewhere sinful where officers wouldn't find it, perhaps in her matchbox. Payette faces charges of arson, damage to property, and criminal mischief. A man was arrested.
There's all types out there, Josh.
Yeah, she sounds like she likes to party. A man was arrested after he allegedly walked out of a Georgia police department and began to urinate on the building. Authorities said 34-year-old Joseph Cooper wanted to speak with an officer about why he couldn't sleep on city property. Then the officer said, "Hey, did you just pee on our building?" Cooper admitted to urinating on the building, but he said, "I didn't think anyone could see me." Reportedly, the officer explained to Cooper there's cameras all around the building and urinating in public is indecent exposure, for which he was arrested.
So then he's right back in the jailhouse.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
Son of a bitch.
A woman in Australia started her day with some morning yoga in the parking lot of a bakery that she burglarized only moments later. The Flexible Bandit, as they're calling her, was filmed doing a yoga routine and stretching by the bakery's surveillance camera immediately before she broke into the pastry shop about 3 a.m. March 3rd and swiped some croissants, all right?
Okay.
The bakery added a song from Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol's soundtrack over the clip, which shows the woman dressed in all black rolling around the parking lot doing leg and body stretches. She kicks her legs up, lifts her arms in the air, and rolls her shoulders as she lies on the ground in the comedic footage. "Is this about working off the calories of the croissants before they steal them?" one commenter wrote under the bakery's post. The 44-year-old was charged with theft and burglary before being released on bail.
You gotta stretch it out.
A man is...
Stretch what out?
Yeah, exactly. Tell us what that you need to stretch out.
Your legs.
A man has been accused of using a tow truck to steal at least 7 vehicles throughout Philadelphia and then selling them to a scrapyard.
Well, what the hell?
Philadelphia Police Captain Jason Smith of the Major Crimes Unit said the investigation began November 9th when police received a report of a stolen vehicle. Surveillance video showed the victim's 2001 Honda Accord being stolen, as well as a tow truck being operated in the same area. Investigators determined the tow truck belonged to 44-year-old Lamar Miller. Captain Smith explained what police normally see in vehicle thefts involving tow trucks.
What they're focusing in on are older model vehicles, ones that they think they can take that doesn't demand the owner's immediate attention. A lot of these vehicles, they've been parked for some time. There's debris on the vehicle. They have flat tires. They're waiting for repairs.
Investigators say Miller sold at least 7 vehicles to an auto recycling center, earning between $300 and $600 for each.
What a prick.
Then in Florida, a surf hub usually known for its beaches is gaining some unwanted attention after mysterious fake parking tickets are being placed on vehicles just south of Daytona Beach. In a release, police provided an image of one of the tickets, written by hand. The handwritten fake ticket provides a phone number and website to call to pay a phony $100 fine. The report shows the woman had, one of the victims, tried calling the number on the ticket and went to the website, but the number was invalid and the website wouldn't load. She was later told by police it was not a real parking ticket and it was a scam. Police explained they do not issue parking tickets via handwritten notes. Apparently that's a surprise to some people. No additional information has been provided at this time.
I feel like that would have been a dead giveaway right there.
I mean, it's amazing that they got her to do it, but I guess that's why they do it, right?
It's on the back of a receipt.
Maybe it was on notebook paper.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Dear citizen, you, the letter U, have broken the law. Call this number so I can whack off.
In theaters this week, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must unite to save the world from a second ice age. By the way, I saw one particular headline for a review that says, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Who are you going to call to get your money back?
Oh, no, that's crazy. I just watched the old one last night, the original one, I should call it.
I love it.
A little bit of it, at least, and I was taught that same lesson that I was taught back in 1984. Josh knows this lesson. If anyone ever asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Also in theaters, Immaculate, a horror movie starring Sydney Sweeney as Cecilia, a nun, warmly welcomed to the picture-perfect Italian countryside and offered a new role at an illustrious convent. But it soon becomes clear her new home harbors dark and horrifying secrets. And finally on the big screen, Russell Crowe in Sleeping Dogs. Suffering from memory loss, a former homicide detective tries to solve a brutal murder that he can't recall. As he pieces together evidence from a decade-old investigation, he soon uncovers a sinister web of buried secrets tied to his forgotten past. Based on early reviews, Sleeping Dogs may be something you want to wait until streaming. It only gets 1.5 stars and a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter. Birthdays today: Jessica Chastain Hubba Hubba turns 47 Sunday. Peyton Manning will be 48. Kelly LeBrock Hubba Hubba 64 on Sunday. Birthdays tomorrow: Dallas Mavericks point guard Kyrie Irving turns 32. And Irving's coach, Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd, 51. Retired Arizona Cardinals defensive end J.J. Watt turns 35 today. Keegan-Michael Key, 53. Bob Costas, 72. Chipman Jesus texts in a nice shout-out to his buddy Griffin, living the sober life and doing a fabulous job. Congratulations. Good luck to Maddie, racing in the junior girls class at the Snowcross Nationals at ERX tomorrow. Go kick some butt. Happy 40th to Buell Mechanic Jesus from Ski Bum Jesus. Happy 18th birthday to Hawken from Shower Beer Jesus. And happy birthday to Wildcat Jesus turning 40. That's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
He's very hairy and has a great disposition. Like I said, he loves to hug and he loves to give kisses.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
In front of the rim, rebound by Illinois. Harmon thought about it. Damask for three, right wing. It's good! It's the 10th triple-double in NCAA tournament history. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists.
I hear you. Welcome to the Programski. Randy Shaver and Brad Effin Ryder. Boyce.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
It's Friday. It is. You two old timers are gonna brawl a little bit later. Been a long week for you, Randy Shaver?
Yeah, it's just been a long week.
Oh, no.
Oh, sad Randy.
Everything okay?
I don't like sad Randy.
No. Sad Randy. It's not sad. Settle down.
You sound sad.
God.
You
I'm
did.
Not sad.
You did, but
okay.
You sounded
I didn't
sad.
mean to sound.
Oh, now it's mad, Randy.
Now he's mad.
Mad Rand.
They ran
God.
out of flavored oatmeal at the home.
No brown sugar for you today.
I don't eat oatmeal.
No.
I love oatmeal.
It's all good. It's all good, everybody.
Okay.
Everybody settle down. It's all good.
I was getting excited. I was. I like sad, and I especially like mad Randy. So I was getting kind of pumped. Here's the deal. What are we doing now? Yeah, you two guys, you're going to brawl later. Dad Fights part 163. But first, we have a guest in studio that I think both of you will surely take interest in, especially Randy Shaver, the degenerate sports gambler that he is. With all this hubbub going on in the NBA and Major League Baseball over sports betting, we got a guy here to tell us what's up, and he's probably already got a profile on you, Randy. Welcome to the show, Brad Renzi. Now, Brad is and I'm going to try to get through this without passing out. Brad is the Assistant Special Agent in charge with the Department of Public Safety, Alcohol, and Gambling Enforcement Division.
Your business card must be gigantic.
It's huge. Hi, other Brad.
Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Well, thanks for coming in. That's a hell of a title. Do you abbreviate that somehow? If folks ask you what you do for a living, do you spit that whole song out at them?
You know, we have some abbreviations, but they're not appropriate for the radio. So, like anywhere else, they give me a big title and less pay. So.
Okay. That's how it goes, right?
Yep.
You get what was the special deal we got around here? Oh, business cards? No, what was it, Josh? A parking space?
Well, yeah, there was a few. Business cards.
In lieu of a raise, for many years it was...
Business card.
Business cards.
Parking space, which is very valuable when you're the first one here.
Yeah, when you get in at 3:30 in the morning.
And then they became desperate. Remember, the last thing they offered us was our very own cubicle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we could have a cubicle if we wanted.
Yeah.
We could spend more time here.
So Brad Renzi over there, they're not paying him much, but he's got a fat-ass title, man. He's got a fat-ass title. Well, this is kind of fun. I am in the dark when it comes to a lot of this stuff, but Randy Shaver loves to bet, and we thought collectively, since it's tournament time, you could clarify some of the legalities of sports betting in Minnesota.
Yep, we can talk about that today a little bit. So, before I begin, though, I want to read something for Randy.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can. I'm not sure where this is going today, so if I get any good evidence.
He's very familiar.
That's great.
I'm here today to talk a little bit about March Madness. It's kind of all over the place right now, obviously, and we're kind of naive to think if it's not happening in almost every office out around Minnesota. So,
right.
To cover a couple things, we're bringing awareness to it. Obviously, sports betting is not legal yet in Minnesota.
Okay.
There's some bills up at the Capitol, and they're working hard up there. We'll see what they come up with, if it's able to push through this year or not.
I mean, what about like an office pool? Is that all right?
So, yeah, you can do an office pool as long as there's certain things that are met. So, to kind of break it down and make it super basic, gambling consists of 3 parts. There's consideration, chance, and a prize. So if all 3 of those elements are there, then it is gambling. You would need to be a licensed entity.
Wow.
With a little exception here or there. There's social bets or private social bets. Those are spur-of-the-moment social bets.
Okay.
So, you look at these March Madness brackets. Typically, there's an entrance fee. You select your bracket, and then there's a prize that's paid out. Now, your bracket, you can study as much as you want, but let's be real, there's chance involved whether you pick the right teams or not. I know Shaver probably spends a lot of time figuring out what team might win or not, but it still comes down to, the ball has a lucky bounce or something. So that's where the gambling part of it comes in. The simplest way to prevent that illegal part of the gambling is just to remove one of those 3 elements, the consideration, the chance, or the prize. But, when it comes to March Madness, let's be real, who wants to play to not win a prize?
Right.
The chance part, what
pride isn't going to cut it for most of us, right? We want to fatten up our wallet.
We want the pizza party.
Exactly. Right. And you can't just fund it. Most of us don't have unlimited funds. I saw Wop over here with a fat wallet, but so maybe he could fund it.
There's some green in there, but it's not what you might expect.
I bet you're excited he noticed, huh, Wopple?
It was a lot of ones.
Brad, those are unused condoms.
A lot of ones.
He's got a wide variety of social bets. Social bets, that's kind of interesting to me. So, like, if Josh says, hey, I bet you I can eat this entire bucket of cheese balls.
Yeah. Yep. So
bet you $20 I can clean out this tray of enchiladas. That's a social bet.
That is a social bet. And,
right.
I would even argue that might be skill.
Yeah.
If he's stretched out his stomach enough, So
I do practice on enchiladas about 3 times a week. It's a true story.
The social bet part, that would be, everyone's sitting at the local VFW or Legion, and you go, hey, I bet you $20 Kirk O'Chains here isn't going to make this pass, you know, and you can do that amongst friends.
I bet you $20 old Ernie's going to fall off his bar stool within the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's all okay, you're saying?
Yes, that is all fine. So basically when you are advertising it, when it's organized, when it's, more of a put-together thing, that is where it becomes illegal because you're advertising it, you're marketing it, and then those 3 elements are present. So that private social bet, we want to have fun here in the state. We don't want to make it completely boring, but that's where the private social bet
who do you go after? When they call Brad Renzi, who are they calling you about to go get him?
Shaver is usually on the top of the list. But,
he's an example.
Do you know he has like 20 some odd fantasy football teams and things like that?
I followed him around for a day once.
Yeah?
I got so many tips on what he was up to.
So maybe you can tell us who that other lady is then.
Which one?
Meet me in the parking lot. I'll tell you everything.
Who are you going after?
So a lot of times these just come up to us because of complaints. Someone calls the office, says, hey, there's this office pool going on. Sometimes it's because they're not included. Sometimes it's maybe they're just not a gambler. So, yeah, you get a lot of narcs that complain about stuff.
And you're obligated to swing by and ask a few questions?
Yes, sir. So
okay.
we'll spin by, we'll check it out. Clearly, we can't just walk into your office and check everything out. We have laws we have to follow. We are a law enforcement agency, so again, we can't just search your property without proper search warrant or whatnot.
Can you try and trick them? Like, I bet you're too chicken to let me cross that threshold right there. I bet you, $20 says you won't let me cross that.
Anything that works, right? So, we also do undercover work where we will get into a group if there's a large enough group or concern. We have undercover profiles. We have undercover driver's licenses. We have the whole works that we're able to go in. So if someone tries to identify us or does their homework to search who is this guy that's joining, it won't come back to us.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is it true that you have a canine that can smell fake cash?
Real cash, not fake cash.
Oh, it's real cash.
Yeah, so we don't care about fake cash.
Okay.
But I have a.
They won't smell anything in that office, will they?
so
unfortunately, touche.
Yeah,
so yes,
well played, sir.
Hey, Randy Shaver, let me be very clear about this. You're 100% right. If they got a canine that sniffs out real cash, they're not going to smell a damn thing in this building. But if you got a canine that sniffs out fake people, it is going to be very busy.
Yeah. So I do have a canine. I'm a canine handler. My dog's name is Bia. She is a 3-year-old German short-hair pointer, and she does detect currency. That's her only job.
Wow.
So, she's out in the car out front right now, probably barking away out there.
That is so cool.
That could be a great dog in the hands of evil as well. I mean, whichever way you go on that.
Good point.
This is so interesting. Brad Renzi is here, and I'm going to dump this on folks again. He's the Assistant Special Agent in charge with the Department of Public Safety, Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division, and we thought he could give us a heads up on... I'm sure, Randy Shaver, you got to have some questions, being a guy who's very active in whatever it is.
I guess my first question is about the dog. So when you're talking about smelling out real cash, you're talking about like people that hide their money someplace? I mean, what would you use the dog for?
Yep. So, a lot of our investigations with illegal gambling and also with illegal alcohol with production or sales, if you are using a peer-to-peer trading platform, that's easy to track. We can do a search warrant on that. That's not an issue. That's all that electronic money. However, we find more and more that, illegal gambling is a cash business. So when we get to the point of investigations where we're doing search warrants, kicking doors down, that kind of deal, doing searches that we were on the books, we saw there was a lot of money that should be somewhere, and we were not finding that money as part of the investigation. And the reason for that's just the money itself is evidence that we use for the court trial. What ultimately happens with it, that's with the courts. It's not always seized necessarily, but we show, hey, here's a pile of $100,000 in cash. You don't have income that justifies that, and it's part of making our whole case together. So,
well, it's a hell of a.
So,
yes, Randy.
I was just going to ask. So, when you do this job, do you find that there's a lot of, I guess, for lack of a better term, bookies in Minnesota? I mean, is illegal gambling something that's prevalent here, where there's a lot of organization with that, or not?
So yeah,
and then my second question would be, if the legislature passes what they're talking about, are you out of a job?
No. So, like I said, we'd be naive to think that there's not bookies going on. There's not sports betting going on already under the table that we don't know about. I don't have a percentage or how popular it is, but clearly there's an entire division, our Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division, that goes statewide to address this issue. So it's popular enough that it employs us. So we're good with that. And as for the second question,
What happens if they pass this bill?
Yeah, so if it is passed, that would actually expand our division, hopefully, because we would be responsible for not only looking for the illegal stuff, but we would likely have a role in the regulatory part of it to make sure that citizens and everybody in Minnesota, the consumers, are being protected and not being cheated or ripped off.
Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think they're going to pass it?
I don't know. They've had a lot of meetings with it. I think they're making progress with it, but ultimately we'll see. I mean, there's been other bills that seemed like they were going to go through and didn't, and vice versa.
There's a lot. I was going to say there's a lot of discussion, Josh, with the tribes and how you work all of those things out, and so there's a lot of stuff that still has to be sorted out at the Capitol. But they're closer now than they've been in a long time.
The tribes have so much political power in this state. That is the number one reason why this has not gotten done yet, and why it's done in 38 other states.
Okay, maybe that answers this question. A few people, including Wubby Cat Jesus, want to know, why is it such a big deal to, in our state where other states don't seem to have a problem with it?
That's the answer to it.
That's the answer? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
that's the short answer to it, anyway.
As a gambling enforcement agent, what do you make of the two big stories here in sports the last couple of weeks? Rudy Gobert making a suggestion that NBA officials are on the take, and this Shohei Ohtani friggin' story where some believe that he has this terrible gambling problem. As an agent, what do you make of that just on the surface?
Right. So, I mean, these are perfect examples of why we would need to be involved if the sports betting bills do pass here. These are the type of investigations that we would likely be assigned.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's having an influence on the game. If that is true, if those accusations prove true, that's our bread and butter. That would be what our agency does. So, as for thoughts on that, I mean, for me, it's not out of the ballpark that it's a possibility. Working in law enforcement for 18 years, you see all kinds of stuff and nothing really shocks you anymore. So, I mean, that's what our agency would be involved with, though, if it becomes legal.
How about even the story? Nick, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
No. How about the story?
Randy's got a
with
delay
JB
going here, doesn't he? Randy's got a delay.
So,
that's the problem. So maybe.
I'm sorry.
Is it just today, or is there a delay all the time?
No. We mean with this system. My brain.
Gotcha.
My question is a story that was out there with JB Bickerstaff, the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who was talking about how sports gambling is affecting his, personal family life because bettors are yelling at them. The line is, maybe the line is they're a 9-point favorite and they're winning by 8, and you know what I mean? There's seems like there's pressure now being put on athletes and coaches from the betting community. At least he's saying this. That's become even more personal than it's ever been. What about that? Because that feels like that's heading towards a direction that's getting a little out of hand too.
Right, and that's obviously concern. Personal safety of anybody and their family. You shouldn't have to endure threats ever, but let alone because you're a coach or a player in a game. And I guess I can't speak 100% to that, but I can talk about one of the. An example would be we had an illegal gambling ring that was going on out of St. Paul, and through that illegal gambling ring, some prizes weren't paid out. There were some issues with it. It was actually an illegal lottery, and assaults had occurred as payback type, assault, and that's situations that we see with gambling. It's not always clean and easy where you go to the store, you go to a licensed establishment and do that. We know that it's underground. We know that there are other resulting crimes that can occur from illegal gambling that's occurring right now in the state.
I hate to do this on air, but is there any quick fix to Randy's delay? Can he turn on, off?
Yeah, that's what we think we need to do is have him turn it off and then back on.
Okay. Randy, you might have to cut yourself off. Turn it off and on again. We'll hear from you soon. Sorry, everybody, but there's obviously a delay on Randy's end.
It's not cognitive. This is all technical.
That's just me tapping into his phone lines. So that explains the delay. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of good info from
Brad Renzi is our guest. He's a gambling enforcement agent here in town. I have a question. I like to hit roadhouses around town, Brad. And every once in a while, maybe a game of dice or a game of billiards or a game of cards will break out, and some bars get a little uppity. If you're tossing dollars on the bar, what are they afraid of?
So there are certain dice games that are allowed. There's like a shake a day. There's 3, 2, 1. There's dice games you can play, and there are rules written in statute that bars are basically only allowed to keep the dice for the patrons. Any money that's exchanged, that bars cannot participate in any of that. That's why they're probably real uppity about it, because if they get a violation or there's a violation that occurs on their premises or their establishment, they are in jeopardy of not only getting their liquor license suspended, but it could completely be revoked or taken away from them.
Okay.
So,
I'm glad you brought this up, Nick, because I was at a place yesterday, and for the first time ever, I saw a little sticky note on the pool table that said, "No, absolutely no gambling."
Yep, and pool would be a little different because that's skill-based. So those 3 elements we talked about, consideration, chance, and prize. When people call us and ask, hey, I want to do this, and we say you can't, it's illegal gambling because those 3 are there, the easiest way to solve that usually is to replace the chance with a skill. And that could be as simple as a pool game.
Oh, really?
That could be a cornhole, if you play cornhole.
Sure.
A skill is something that you can get better at with practice.
Okay. All right.
Question from a listener: do you regulate strip poker, and if not, do you play?
We might have to look at starting a new division within the agency on that.
I bet there'd be some volunteers.
We've had low recruitment numbers, so I bet that would probably boost it quite a bit.
Is Randy Shaver back?
Well,
there he is.
I am, but I don't know. Here's my thing, Nick. I don't want to turn this off because they came out and fixed this, and so I'm afraid to even touch this thing.
Why don't you call us back on the telephone? Sorry. Call us back on the telephone, because obviously there's still a delay there.
Have Wapple call me.
All right, Wapple, give Randy a call. There's freaking stupid equipment around here that never works. I hate this place. You got any openings over there at the gambling enforcement?
Yeah, we do. Come on over. We're always hiring.
70-year-old Tool fan Jesus wants to know if you ever caught a ref being paid off.
Ooh. So I have not personally. I can't think of any within our division. I've been here for about 6 years now. I haven't heard of any since I've been here, but...
That's a great question, because so many youth parents, I shouldn't say so many. There's always a handful of lunatic youth sports parents who come up with that fantasy. The refs are being paid off.
Engineer Jesus wants to know the legalities of raffles on Facebook.
So that is a big problem that we're facing right now, any of the online stuff. So Facebook seems to be a popular one, though, where you'll pay, you'll Venmo them, you'll do whatever with currency or with your cash, and then they'll do a raffle, whether it's a spinner, a random number generator, whatever, and they hand it out. Those are, like I said, frequent complaints we receive. We do investigate those. A lot of those end up in search warrants where we're, searching the house, taking the computer, taking the prizes, taking any money associated with it, putting that case together, and presenting it to the courts.
Right on. Do you have the power to make marijuana illegal again?
Yeah, I'm for that.
Yeah, because that would be fun.
I don't use it, but I thought just legalize it. I've changed my mind on the whole thing.
Yeah.
There was originally some talk with us having some involvement with something with cannabis, but since then we just stay in our lane of alcohol and gambling.
There you go. Well, it's been really interesting. I had one more question for you. I had it and I lost it. Oh, okay. Let's say the average schmuck in our listening audience, he's got a few bucks in his pocket. He might want to make some bets on this year's basketball tournament, maybe the NBA playoffs, maybe the NHL play. What's the safest and best way for the average person to go about it?
If you're not going to do that private social bet right now, anything else is illegal in Minnesota.
God dang, just that private social bet.
You got to fly to Vegas or drive south the border to Iowa.
Drive to Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay. You got a real interesting gig.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's entertaining between the regulatory part and checking out businesses to the undercover stuff. It's awesome, and then the canine part with the dog. You get to play with the dog for most of the day.
So who would you put your money on for today's ball games? Today's basketball games?
I didn't even look. Who got eliminated yesterday? I haven't been
a couple of big ones.
I don't know. I'll defer that one to Randy or the other
Shaver
Brad.
and Brad Ryder.
Yep.
Well, hell, you want to stick around where we got to horse around and do some other things, you're welcome to stick around, Brad, unless you got somewhere to go.
Doesn't matter to me. I can sit tight. I was going to say real quick, I heard Josh talking about, being a Citizens Academy graduate.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So just so you know, if you want to learn more about alcohol and gambling enforcement, we are hosting another Citizens Academy. We did one last year, our first ever, and we're planning on doing another one this year in like the Eakin-Burnsville area.
Well, that's perfect for me. I'll be there. Brad, you're going to join me.
I'll get you a big title.
Yeah, I need one of those really long titles. Can I call myself a special agent afterwards?
I'm sure we could figure something out. Maybe you could be the assistant to the assistant special agent or something like that.
Assistant to the assistant regional manager.
We were joking around earlier about 20-some years ago. Josh joined the Citizens Police Academy in Prior Lake, and it's just the silliest thing in my book, at least at the time.
They've retired my badge, I think.
Randy Shaver, are you back?
I'm here on the phone,
yeah. I know you hate being on the phone. We hate having you on the phone, but that friggin' thing you got at the house just wasn't working. Brad Renzi's gonna stick around, but we should cover some things, and then you guys got to fight. The basketball tournament yesterday. Okay, so there was one big fat upset, and that was Oakland University beating Kentucky. That was a hell of an operation.
It really was. It was a great game by the division. Was he a former Division III or Division II guy?
I thought it was D3. Yeah, where is the info on this guy? Go ahead,
Randy. He looked like he had been playing with Mankato for quite a few years.
He did not look like a college-age kid, did he?
Yeah, he looked like he had been part of the Mankato outfit.
Yes.
Yeah, but he was amazing. He made 10 three-pointers. Jack Golke, I think, is his name. And, there's a lot of interesting conversations now about John Calipari and Kentucky and maybe having to make some changes or something, whether it's coaching staff changes or whatever, but they just got, that was a huge upset for Oakland to knock them out of the tournament.
Yes. There were a lot of experts before the tournament who thought they were susceptible to something like this. So, yeah.
My favorite post about the game last night, the upset, they said, March Madness is great because Kentucky has a few future NBA players on their team, and they just got cooked by a future Enterprise district manager.
That Jack Golke, when I saw him interviewed after the game, he looked 35 years old. So maybe there's something shady going on, but I thought something really interesting. I wanted to mention something really interesting about the dude. Yeah, he finished with 32 points. He attempted 23 pointers, and those were the only shots he took. He took 0, and he had a couple of free throws. On the season, he had 327 three-point attempts. He only tried 8 two-point shots the entire season for Oakland, to show you how the game of basketball has changed and how these specialty deep shooters have become a thing. The other big deal was the triple-double. You heard Josh play some audio of that, a kid from Illinois, Marcus Damask. Only the 10th triple-double in NCAA tournament history. He got that done yesterday. I forgot who the hell they beat.
Yeah, he's a really good player. They beat Morehead State. He's a really good player.
And the other names on this list of triple-doubles in NCAA basketball history, there's a couple of notable ones. Even one Brad Ryder's going to get real excited about it. Of course, you got your Shaquille O'Neal, you got your Andre Miller, he played here for a while. You got Dwayne Wade, Draymond Green. John Morant had a triple-double in the NCAA. Another name on the list, Brad Ryder, Cole Aldrich.
Oh, nice. My guy, yep.
The Kansas Cole Patrol. The games go on
triple-double. Wait a second. If he had a triple-double, he had to have blocks, right? He couldn't have had assists.
It must have been. I don't have the specifics in front of me. The games go on and on today. Boys high school basketball continues on. Wayzata beat Creighton. Minnetonka beat Egan. The other winners Totino Grace, Mankato East. Plenty of games today. Golden Gopher basketball against Indiana State tomorrow in the National Invitational Tournament. The women are involved tomorrow in their NIT tournament. The Golden Gopher ladies. Timberwolves at home tonight against Cleveland, and then Golden State Sunday. Pigs against the Blues tomorrow at the X. I think I got everything done. Wapple, use your fingers on us over there. What about folks who want to bet on today's dad fight?
Is that all right?
Yeah, let's go for it. It's based off of skill and knowledge, right?
That's right.
It's not based off of either, really.
It's based on Googling skills is what it's based off of.
Hey, that's a skill. Who can type the fastest?
That is a skill.
Our gambling agent, Brad Renzi, What would you see? Listeners have been texted in saying, okay, well, can we have someone come up with some odds for today's dad fights? Are you even allowed to have those conversations?
I mean, you can talk about that all you want, but again, placing the actual bet, those
bet.
3 elements are there. That's where you start getting in trouble.
Well, who won last week?
I did.
Okay, so the odds.
No, you didn't.
No, it was Randy. What?
I was waiting for that.
Oh, Randy. So the odds would be slightly against Brad Wright. All right, here we go. She's Friday, and that's when we go ahead and put on a little trivia contest called Dad Fights. Our contestants today and every Friday, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. And there they are right there, both of them on the telephone. They like to compete, and they don't like each other at all. So it works well for us most of the time. Of course, every edition of Dad Fights needs a theme, a subject. And here's the deal for today. Here's the deal for today. The key word there is for. The men's NCAA basketball tournament is underway, obviously, with the ultimate goal there to play for a national championship at the damn Final Four. So we could have put together a little something on great players or great teams from past NCAA tournaments or past Final Fours, but we went a different route. And lucky for me, it's very difficult to explain. We're calling it the Sets of 4 edition of Dad Fights. And what we mean by that is we will give you two buttholes 4 solid hints to come up with an answer to each question. The trivia covers a wide range of topics, and I think the only way you're going to get it, and the only way to keep you from whining about it, is to give you an example or two, okay?
Okay.
I'll repeat myself. It's the Sets of 4 edition. We give you 4 solid hints to come up with an answer to each question. It covers a wide range of topics, but an example would go like this here. Name this effing wildly successful all-time great radio show in the Twin Cities that features these 4 characters. Janelle Clark, C. Willie Miles, Dick Braber, and Andrew DePaula. Your correct answer is obviously the 93X half-ass.
Okay.
I'll give you another example so you know how this is going to work. What genre of the movie business is famous for the following 4 movie titles? Sperms of Endearment.
Porn.
How Stella Got Her Tube Packed. Ferris Bueller's Whack Off. And Inspect Her Gadget. Yes, the correct answer is porno movies. So that's the deal. Plenty of info. 4 solid clues will direct you to the correct answer. You shout out your answer whenever you think you got the right one. You don't got to wait for all 4 clues to be dumped on you. Shout out your answer when for the correct answer. Of course, you'll hear the bell. We're even going to add in that dude who yells 4. 4. Okay, that's how you'll know you have the correct answer for today's Dad Fight. The bell and the dude who says 4. 4. All right. If you're incorrect, the all-timer. We're going to go with the old-school Costco intercom fart.
Never gets old. I love the echo on that.
And if you're new to this gimmick, that really happened. Didn't it, Josh?
Yeah, that was a real thing.
A dude is walking around. This is years ago. A dude's walking around Costco. They got the intercom on the wall. He picked it up. He put it to his ass. He farted. He hung the damn thing back up again.
Yeah, it's made its way around. People have added that to a lot of videos. So I don't know if Costco was the first, but it's definitely a part of it.
You can steal a point if your opponent answers incorrectly. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker if necessary. And get ready, boys. Today's introduction is brought to us by Farmer's Daughter Jesus. What did I say?
Coming at you from one of the sleepier corners of St. Paul, this is Farmer's Daughter Jesus, here to introduce this week's Dad Fights contestants. First up, Randy, the Ass Man Shaver. Just remember, it's not sexual harassment when a woman does it to a man. Also, I recently came across a 3-for-1 coupon at the Old Country Buffet in Maple Grove. What say you, me, Roseanne, meet up there on a Thursday afternoon around 4:30? See where the afternoon takes us.
Oh my God. I'll have what she's having.
Just kidding, Randy. You and Roseanne are obviously great together. I do hate to lose out on that coupon, though. Brad, you busy on Thursday? Oh, this is Dad Fights 163.
Yes, Dad Fights part 100 plus 63. Sorry, yes, Farmer's Daughter Jesus. I don't know where I was how I made that mistake. Hey, farmer's daughter, Jesus. Has anyone ever told you sound exactly like China?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
I was going to bring that up, too.
Am I right about that, Special Agent Brad Rinsey?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one.
She sounded just like, and some folks might be going, "Oh, that's not an insult." I love China.
Yeah. Yep.
I loved her. All right, here we go. It's Dad Fights. Keep in mind, sets of 4 theme. Oh, by the way, if you want to do an intro for us, email us hams93x@gmail.com. Go ahead, Cubby. Brad and Randy, can you hear clearly? You're all right? Okay.
Everything's good? This popular action franchise has produced a lot of movies since the first one hit the big screen in 1996, including the following 4. Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation...
Ghostbusters.
Incorrect. Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Dead Reckoning Part 1. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to name that franchise.
Mission Impossible.
4! That is the correct answer.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Bad answers.
A stunt pulled off in the most recent Mission Impossible film, Dead Reckoning Part 1, largely recognized as Tom Cruise's most dangerous yet. The scene where he jumps a motorcycle off a cliff was so risky, in fact, producers filmed the scene on the first day of shooting, so if Tom got terribly hurt or died, they could scrap the $200 million movie before they wasted too much money on it. Dead Reckoning Part 2, by the way, comes out May 23rd, 2025.
What's the movie series again?
Mission Impossible.
Never saw it. Not a damn one of them. Did you know the answer to that one? Assistant Special Agent in charge with the Department of Public Safety, Alcohol, and Gambling Enforcement Division. Special guest this morning, Brad Renzi.
Don't forget Canine Handler, too. That's
God, you screwed that one up.
50 cents less an hour for that to add.
I got to add in. Did you know that one?
I had a good clue at the end there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only way I got it.
So it's 1-0 Brad Ryder. Here we go. Name this famous hard rock band, if you can. They have plenty of well-known tunes like these 4. Let There Be Rock, Shoot to Thrill, Hell's Bells, and Dirty Deeds Done.
AC/DC.
Randy Shaver is on the board. Yes, AC/DC. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap was the last.
That was late. It scared me. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot too. It frightened me. Here's the deal, a little daynalysis here. Aside from every sporting event the last 30 years, AC/DC's music can be heard in a lot of movies. According to IMDb, their songs show up in 65 movies, including The Avengers, Never Saw It, The Muppet Movie, and Beer Fest. Oh, yeah, they listen to, when they crack that keg in Beer Fest, they turn on, well, first off, well, wait a minute. When they crack the keg, remember when they first start practicing and they crack that ice-cold keg? Yeah. That's Hard as a Rock by the Bullet Boys is what song they crack. Shoot to Thrill. Oh, that comes up maybe in the tournament. The song comes up in the tournament. We're tied at 1.
The 1990s produced plenty of iconic laugh-out-loud sitcoms, including this massive comedy with characters like Jay Peterman, David Puddy.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is the correct answer.
I knew Brad would be in on that one.
I actually thought Randy would get that one.
Never saw it.
If I would have got to Newman, he would have got it.
Yeah.
Monk's Cafe, the diner the Seinfeld character spent a lot of time at, is a real place in New York City. It's called Tom's Cafe. It's become a popular tourist attraction. But since Seinfeld fans were unaware the interior looks much different than on the show, producers used a studio to film the famous cafe conversations.
Brad Ryder with another correct answer, making the score 2-1. Okay. Name the famous car manufacturer that is responsible for kicking out these 4 models. The Anal Aerostar, the Anal Fiesta.
Ford.
Brad. The Anal Pinto and the Anal Mustang. That sounded like Brad Ryder to me, but Wapple's our official scorekeeper.
Yeah, it was Brad.
Okay.
What?
What the?
Jibs.
Sorry if I threw anyone, but we were going along with a theme that was created yesterday by a listener where you put anal in front of the name of any car model, and it's funny.
Sure is.
It works so well.
I know. I kept thinking of more than last night while I was just sitting around.
Yeah, same here, Dana.
I see a car commercial, and I'm like, oh, that was a good one.
I was going to tell you, I won't tell you what my squad car is sitting out in the parking lot. So.
Anal squad is great.
It's the anal squad.
Yeah, that's even better.
Run like hell. Here comes the anal squad.
Or the anal cruiser.
That's terrifying.
Expedition sitting out there.
Anal expedition.
Did anyone here? I thought one of us owned a Pinto. Randy?
No.
No. I had a Gremlin, which is kind of like a imitation Pinto.
I had an Escort.
No,
anal Escort.
Yeah, that was my first car.
I had an anal Gremlin.
Feeling better about my Gladiator now.
That's so good. The anal Gladiator. It's perfect.
I always thought that the Escort was kind of a sharp-looking little back in the day. I like the... Anyway, no one liked the Pinto. It's ranked the 14th worst car of all time. It's in the 50 worst cars of all time on different lists. Nobody liked the damn thing. Does that make the score 3-1, Brad?
Yes.
All right, then. Our gimmick today is groups of 4, sets of 4 leading the boys to an answer here.
This well-known 1992 rap song starts with a Valley girl saying these 4 words. Oh my God, Becky. How much time are we giving them here?
No idea.
That's my favorite question of the day. I really like how that one comes off.
I thought we went off the air.
Should we see if Brad Renzi knows that one?
Well, read the clue one more time because I want to get it right. I think I know the answer. I just want to hear it one more time.
This well-known 1992 rap song starts with a Valley girl saying these 4 words. Oh my God, Becky.
I know it now.
Baby got back.
Yeah.
Baby got back. Look at her butt.
One for better Brad.
One for Special Agent Brad. Sometimes referred to as the Big Booty Anthem. In a 2014 interview, Sir Mix-a-Lot said it was Jennifer Lopez's moves as a fly girl on the 90s show In Living Color, which inspired him to write Baby Got Back.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Yep.
That's just a great song is all it is. Baby Got Back. So the score remains 3-1 Brad Ryder. Tough one, but I like that one a lot. Okay, boys, you might have to think back to your single days to get this one correct. There's a good chance you have this sexually transmitted disease if you have the following 4 symptoms. Discharge, burning during urination, unusual sores,
syphilis.
Okay, Randy Shaver is shouting out.
Randy Shaver has syphilis.
Yeah.
So mark that one down.
I'm just guessing.
You got.
Right. Okay, Brad, you didn't get to hear the 4th symptom, which was rash. It's all you, Brad Ryder.
You gotta think back.
Yeah, I got no guess. I'm sorry.
I have a feeling Brad took a dive on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
The correct answer is Brad Renzi. Do you know?
I'm just going to guess. Is it the gonorrhea?
Yes, it is.
Waffle has that, doesn't he?
Oh, you listen to the show.
Special Agent Brad Renzi got that correct.
Long term, it might have been beneficial for me not to answer that question.
You're a sex ed teacher, or at least one of them.
The correct answer is gonorrhea. Here are some of the other symptoms of gonorrhea, just so folks are aware. Watery, creamy, or greenish discharge. Heavier periods for men and women. And feeling the need to explain yourself after incorrect answers during on-air trivia contests.
Oh, man. I know a guy.
Still 3-1 Brad Ryder.
The Kentucky Colonels. The San Diego...
ABA.
That was brilliant.
You didn't even need all of it.
That was friggin' brilliant right there.
Yep.
Randy wins.
Yes, we were looking for the ABA, the American Basketball Association. The analysis here says the slam dunk contest originated in the ABA during the final ABA All-Star Game in 1976.
So read the rest of the defunct, the teams from the defunct league, because this is such great stuff.
So there's 11. I have 4. The Kentucky Colonels, the San Diego Conquistadors, the Anaheim Amigos, and the Minnesota Muskies.
Those were fun days, weren't they, Randy Shaver?
They certainly were.
Wapo, did we hear the 4 guy? What's the matter over there?
No, sometimes it's been working, sometimes it hasn't.
Well, get it to work.
Yeah. 4. There he is.
3-2, Brad. Randy might be making a comeback here. Here is your next challenge. Here's a guy who could use a break, and I mean that very sarcastically. He's a rich and famous actor, and the word is he's dated the following 4 crazy hot women's: Robin Givens, Christina's Applegate, Jennifer's Aniston, and Angelina's Jolie.
Brad Pitt.
4.
We're tied.
Randy.
Yeah,
That was me.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep, it
We're
was.
tied. That's Brad Pitt. Says here, before he became successful, Brad supported himself by driving strippers in limousines, moving refrigerators, and dressing as a giant chicken while working for a joint called Casa Bonita.
I didn't realize he dated the first 2.
Yeah, I didn't know he dated Robin Givens and Christina's Applegates.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You got to be crazy to date Robin Givens.
Well, maybe he didn't know that yet. I don't know.
And tell me why you got to be crazy to come anywhere near Robin Givens.
Mike Tyson.
Because she was married to Mike Tyson. I wouldn't even text her.
When I look up Brad Pitt and Robin Givens, the first video that comes up when Mike Tyson saw Robin Givens with Brad Pitt, and he does not look happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they crossed paths at one point, and Brad Pitt's still breathing.
I guess so.
Terrified.
We're tied at 3.
Just because you have famous friends willing to put you in their movies doesn't mean those movies are going to be good. In fact, this actor has starred in some awful ones, including Surf Ninjas, The Animal, The Hot Chick, and Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo. You could say if you paid to see one of those movies, you were robbed.
Rob Schneider.
Schneider. Thank you, Wapple. That scared the hell out of me. Schneider, who on his episode of MTV's Cribs welcomed the cameras inside by saying, "Welcome to the home Adam Sandler built," has been cast by his buddy Sandler in 15 of his movies.
I'm glad he acknowledges it.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was really funny.
We talked to Rob Schneider a long time ago, and we thought he was just a wonderful guy. Didn't we, Josh?
Yeah, he was very funny when he was on.
Brad Ryder,
very humble, too.
Because he humble. Brad Ryder's taking a 4-3 lead. So.
Finish him.
If Brad gets this one correct, he wins Dad Fights, Part 100 plus 63, the Sets of 4 edition. If Randy gets it right, we're going to a tiebreaker. Nobody gets it right, Brad wins. What are these 4 brands famous for producing? New Holland, Massey Ferguson.
Tractor.
Of course you got that, Brad.
New Holland, Massey Ferguson, Case IH, and John Deere. The correct answer is Tractors, giving Brad Ryder a 5-3 victory. Dad Fights Part 100 plus 53. Tractors, there are people out there, it says via Danalysis, who are sexually attracted to tractors. In 20 plus 15, there was a story about a guy in England who got caught by the cops banging a tractor. He later confessed that he's had unprotected sex with over 450 tractors.
Oh, God.
Is there a division for that in Minnesota?
We'll figure that one out later. I don't want to join it if there is.
That's gambling of a different type right there.
We talk about odds. That last question, I'd say, had some unfair odds on it there.
You might be right.
We want to thank our special guest, Brad Renzi, for stopping by and talking a little gambling with us this morning. It's perfect time of year with the March Madness. Boy, a lot of us, we better clean up our acts, right?
Yep. And one final thing before I head out of here, too, just gambling's fun for a lot of people. It is something that can be enjoyed, but unfortunately, there are some people that suffer from that. So if you're one of those people, don't hesitate to reach out, get some help. You can Google it online. You can go anywhere. There's a number of local places, text options, phone calls. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to reach out for that help.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Special
Thank
agent.
you for saying that.
Yes, absolutely. Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver, go ahead. Have a nice weekend. You're off the hook, boys.
All right. See you Monday.
Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I got an email today from the lenpenzo.com HR department. I find it really interesting. I'm an employee of one at this company, but somebody from the HR department sent me an email telling me that I had a raise. If I just opened the attachment, I could see how much my raise was.
Make sure you click on the links that are in there, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, what the hell's going on around here? It's going to be a hell of a weekend. A hell of a weekend. 26 inches of snow or more forecast for Sunday night / Monday morning.
That has really jumped since the last time I heard the numbers.
Hope everybody makes it, but your chances are slim.
There are a lot of businesses I've heard that are just closing down for the day on Monday.
Very slim.
Oh, is one of them ours?
No. Everyone else gets to stay home except for us.
That's how it goes.
That is fun when that happens. Don't even attempt to come in, but be sure to listen to the morning show. They'll be live in studio.
Thanks for listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. You know, I was saying earlier, Josh, how much I love you. But I was just reading something or another, and it sent a chill down my spine. Gave me a terrible feeling in my stomach.
I'm here for you, buddy.
What if all this time it wasn't really love? What if it was just office goggles?
There's no way it was just office goggles.
I don't think office goggles would last this long.
No. No way.
My God, is this love not real? Maybe it was just all this time it's been office goggles. Here's the deal. There's a new term out there for all you social media dorks and bloggers and TikTokers and all that stuff. The new term, get ready to hear it over and over and over again. You know how you social media people, you can't let it go. You drive it into the friggin' ground. The new term, office goggles. It's like beer goggles, but just at work with no booze required. You fall for someone at the office, even though you'd never look twice if you passed them on the street. That's office goggles. It's on the Urban Dictionary.
It's kind of silly, though.
Huh?
You know, I mean, if you work with someone, you get to know their personality, and that's what you're attracted to. If it's not a love at first sight thing.
But what if you don't know them at all? You just see them across the building or across the office.
Yeah, if it's somebody I might not be interested in, I just wouldn't be interested in.
Here's the thing. I think I've had office goggles. By God, I have.
You think so?
I definitely have too.
Yes.
Really? So you see somebody, and where normally you wouldn't give them a second look, but they're in the office, and you're thinking, well, hey, now.
There's something about it. I think there's something here, Cubby. I do think that I've had office goggles. Oh, I know I've had beer goggles. We can tell those stories.
Yeah, I think we've all had that. Yeah.
How much time you got?
But I have had office goggles. I'm picturing one lady who worked here a long time ago. We never got to know each other. We didn't. But there was something about the vibe she gave off, her appearance, and then later in life, I did meet her by chance in a social situation, and I couldn't stand her.
So you think if you met her anywhere else, you wouldn't have felt the same, you're saying?
I don't think so. I think I had office goggles.
A lot of the time, people put on a fake personality for work, too. So, like, you know, like...
We work in radio. You're going to have to be more convincing on
this
that.
This is a radio station. I don't know what you're talking about.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to act like a D-bag. Well, I don't know. I guess here is a little different. But when I was like a server or bartender, you have to be in a good mood. You have to have a smile on your face. So...
Yeah, you're right. That people don't have that problem around here.
No.
They're in a bad mood.
No.
It's everybody else's problem all of a sudden.
So it's not a brand new term. It's been on Urban Dictionary since 2006. I'd never heard of it.
I wasn't even born yet.
No. But now it's being brought up again. It's hit TikTok. It's hit Instagram. So, again, brace yourselves. It's going to be it's going to be the number one punchline. Office goggles. The gal who posted it here recently on TikTok, her only real theory is you just see the person so much it changes your perception of how hot they are. They're not that hot, but you see them all the time. They cross your mind.
You know, there's a person now I'm thinking of who might fit this category, and both of us had office goggles for her.
Yeah.
If you could call it that, yeah.
Yes.
Bespeckled. Didn't work here that long ago.
Bespeckled. Didn't work here all that long ago. You'd have to write it down. Write down the name, because I
can do that.
Okay.
Oh, I want to know.
I cannot tell you because you can't keep a secret.
So Urban Dictionary's definition of office goggles, they define it as similar to beer goggles, but caused by a contained area like an office. They claim repeatedly seeing the same person can raise their score an average of 2 points. So if they're a 7 on the street, they're a 9 at work.
Especially if, oh gosh. Did that? Wow!
Are you okay?
I just lost it.
She just stroked out on us.
You had a thought, and then it just.
Are you back on weed?
I got it.
Okay.
Lost it again.
Are you serious?
Jeez.
Oh my! You got to start writing stuff down. You're too young for this.
Okay. Josh wrote down, and thank you for that, Ashley. We'll check back in on you in a few.
That was fun.
Minutes.
That was fun.
Josh just wrote down the name of this girl that he feels, this lady, that he feels the two of us had office goggles for. Meaning, again, we wouldn't think twice on the street, but seeing them repeatedly caused us to rate her a little higher. I know it all sounds so cold, doesn't it? But it goes both ways, guys, girls.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, Josh, I know exactly who you're talking about. And thank you for drawing a penis on the piece of paper that you
That's
wrote.
my signature.
I have to.
Grandma hates it.
Hey, can I get your autograph?
I have to argue this with you because I would find this gal wildly attractive no matter where we went. I thought she was just one of the prettiest things.
No, I agree with that, but I think it wouldn't have gotten to the level it did. You know, like if you saw her, you'd think, "Oh, she's attractive."
Okay, I have to agree with that.
And that's how I feel. Like she's obviously pretty.
Yes.
But there was just a level that it got to.
Okay, and I think maybe, so now that reinforces that there's something to this office goggles theory. That, yes, I think the repeated exposure, and don't get cute with that, to this woman did lead us to maybe have stronger feelings than we should have.
Yeah. Stronger feelings than she may have wanted us to have.
When she would walk by, I mean, I would just be hushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I finally remembered what I was going to say, and I wrote it down this time to make sure I wouldn't forget.
Did you just say something to make me look cool? Yeah, we never played that out, didn't we?
No.
You should have said something about me in front of her to make me look cool.
I didn't even think about it. I was trying to look cool. You really did 700 push-ups last night. I think I could have said something like that.
We'll work on this for the future.
I've got clarity. She hasn't been here in a while.
Ashley, this is the first time we've ever had to do this in our entire radio career. Let's check back in on someone for a third time to say if they can gather their thoughts well enough to make a statement on the radio. Now, there is a 3 strikes you're out policy.
All right. I think it has a lot to do with them being the hottest out of the ugliest people. Like, they're not necessarily the best looking person you've ever seen, but they're the hottest out of everybody you're surrounded by.
They're the best choice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. If you had to pick, if all of a sudden we're trapped in this building and you had to pick, you would go with that one.
Yeah, especially when I was a server or bartender. That's honestly probably like the second thing I ever thought of when I started working somewhere is, all right, where's the hot one?
Yeah. Yes, no, maybe, yes.
Yep.
There was a time back in the day where it was a little more lawless around here, and some of the office ladies made a desert island list, right? Guys from the office that they'd like to take to a desert island.
Oh, wow.
And A great joy of mine was watching one of the biggest jerks I've ever met in my entire life not make that list, and the rage that person had.
That's a beautiful thing. Yes, we did.
Good for you.
We made the list, didn't we,
We
Josh?
did make the list.
But,
You just made the list.
But douchebag didn't, and you got to see the pain in his face.
And you've seen him cry about okay, not literally cry, but just really freak out about the dumbest stuff.
God, I wish I would have been there.
He was infuriated. Where, it's like, hey, dude, it's not that big a deal. But to him, it meant everything. Because, he wanted to be the guy. I'm the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I got something, okay. Next time we want to say something about each other to make each other look cool, you did the 700 push-ups thing with me. I'm going to do this to you. This is the way I'm going to make you look cool. So tell me about that Ferrari again. Where else are we going with? Where else can I go with? Award-winning stupid face Jesus. He says there was something similar when he was serving our armed forces. He says, when I was in Iraq, we had a similar thing to office goggles. A United States 6 is a deployment 10. I see how that works. Okay.
Boy, I would think, you're in an extreme situation, right?
Oh, dude, a 1 is a 10.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that bonding. I could see how that would happen. You're experiencing something that most people never do.
But then let's remember that there are a lot of folks out there that, forget about this 1 through 10. It's either a 0 or a 1. It's either you would or you would not. Mm-hmm. I don't want to leave those people out of the conversation because I'm sure a text is coming in saying, forget this 1 through 10. It's either a 0 or a 1. You would or you wouldn't. Okay. I wanted to establish that so you don't feel left out.
I can think of only 1 0 that we both know for you because you have all ones.
I got a lot of ones.
Except for 1.
You can think of the ones.
I can think of the 1.
Yeah. You got to write this one down too. I mean, I have one in mind. Is also a former coworker?
Yep.
Then I think I know who you're writing down. Sorry, I'm taking a crap over here.
Oh, yuck.
Well, I got problems.
Dude, what did you eat?
Josh is writing down who he thinks is my only 0.
Yeah.
All right. As you pass the... yeah.
I mean, that's like, can you go negative numbers? And this is all personality-based, by the way. This is not judging someone, because they were an attractive person, except the personality ruined.
She is a 0. And this time, thank you, Josh, for drawing. The last time you passed me a note, you drew a penis. This time, you drew a naked woman for me.
I went old school. You see how you can tell.
She
right?
has an enormous amount of bush.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For one person.
Oh, yeah.
Be mindful of, in closing out this office goggles conversation, or at least we got to take a break. We could come back to it after we take our commercial break. But as far as the lady who posted it on TikTok, and kind of is bringing this term to more people, because everyone's talking about it. She goes on to say, be mindful of coworker relationships. Right. You don't need to be told that. That's don't dip the pen in company ink. That's been a thing for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I understand why you should be mindful of coworker relationships. I get it. But Josh was talking about that desert island scenario where the group of ladies here in the office sat down and said, they had this conversation. If you're on a deserted island and you had to only bring 2-3 guys here from the building, who would you bring with to please you sexually? And Josh and I made the list. You guys would be surprised. 9 times out of 10, if there's sexual harassment, it's coming from a dude, right? Not back in those days.
No, not even close.
Those gals that we worked with, they were animals.
Yeah,
they were relentless animals, and they were often the ones who made us feel very uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't like that.
Here's an example, and there's.
I mean, it was fun.
Okay, good.
But
good.
it was uncomfortable.
I just
that
picture
time.
like Josh hiding in the studio from these crazy women.
Dude, it's not far off. And let me tell you, and we've mentioned this story before, and there's people that are going to text in and say we're idiots, chickens, whatever. You're gonna rip us for this, but you have to understand you weren't there.
Yes,
it was lawless. These women invited me and Nick to bartend a sex toy party. It's like a dream, right?
Yes.
A dream job, and we turned it down because it was too scary. We were so scared as to what would happen. We couldn't handle that.
It's too much for you.
That smoke we couldn't handle.
I can see that from you, Josh, but not you, Nick.
That's the thing. That's how extreme it is.
You have to allow me to explain myself. Number one was I thought this will somehow come back to haunt me here in the building. We will get to drinking with these ladies, and it's a sex toy part. I just thought this is something that 5, 7, 8, 9 years down the road could bite me in the ass big time. So I am actually quite pleased with myself.
We made the right call.
I think we made the second reason. There were 2 reasons why I didn't go. One of the girls in that group, I was straight up terrified of.
For good reason.
For good reason. She done friggin' time.
Oh, wow.
There was something about her, other than saying hello in the office, that was as far as I wanted to take it.
Yeah, no, I could not handle. They were great. They were a lot of fun. And one of them was one of my better friends. But yeah, they were so wild. I mean, you guys actually know a couple of them. Back in the day, it was a different time.
Oh, yes.
It would have been really funny if you guys were talking about it and Josh expressed his concern. Nick's like, no, you're right. It's going to be a bad idea. You're right. Then you guys get in your separate cars. Nick's like, all right, more for me. I'm heading over there.
Yeah, every once in a while we go, did we make the right call there?
We made the right call.
We 100% did.
They want to glorify the fact that they're criminals. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed under the jail just for being dumb.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Sure, absolutely. I hear you. We got a few minutes to go. A lot of folks have been texting in on this topic of office goggles. Like beer goggles, but it's not the liquor that makes you find someone maybe more attractive than they really are. It's just you see them every day. They cross your path. Your choices are limited. Office goggles.
I would say the majority of my relationships have started at work.
I've had a few.
That's where you are the most.
I've certainly had a few. I would love to sit here and roll through all the hilarious text messages from our listening audience on the topic of office goggles, but my computer has just taken a big, fat dump.
Yeah, it's done. The text machine is done.
I don't know if it's because of the onslaught of text messages or what, so I apologize. Luckily, I did write a couple of messages down from our listeners. And one of them, quite a few members of our military have said this office goggles thing is very similar to what they go through when they are deployed. You just see the same effing faces. You don't see enough of the opposite sex or whatever sex it is you're attracted to. And so, like the dude said earlier, 4s turn into 10s. This is very funny. Another member of our military said basically what I just said, but his head officer, what do you call it in the business? His
I guess
lieutenant. Let's just go with that.
Police chief?
What?
He's in the military.
Oh. The head, the top guy. So they spend all this time deployed. When they got back to America, when they hit American soil, as each of the troops was getting off of the airplane, as soon as they would touch American soil, the head chief, the lieutenant, the general, whatever his name is, was waving an imaginary wand at each of them and saying, "You're now back to a 4. You are now back to a 5.
That is genius.
I know, he said it was a brilliant bit.
Oh, that's a great bit.
Sorry, I can't come up with the title, but you know what I mean. The head guy was saying, "You are now a 4 again."
That's great.
That's brilliant. Got a text from a lady that says, "There are so few men in my industry. I totally agree with the office goggles theory. I get horny at work," she says.
Nice.
"The only dude is 61 years old, and there are days where I want him."
Really?
Now.
I don't know if I've ever been horny at work, and I hope to keep it that way.
Right.
Never been horny at work?
No.
Wait just a damn minute. You're forgetting that I've been sitting next to your ass for 25 years.
Well, horny doesn't it's not a strong enough word.
you didn't get horny. You're telling me your closest friend, the guy who has built this radio station with you from nothing, nothing, and brought it to the ultimate power, you're telling me you weren't horny when we had in studio the ice fishing bikini team.
All right, sometimes I forget some of these things. Those girls were next level, weren't they?
I couldn't breathe when we had in studio the ice fishing bikini team. And I know some of them still listen because they'll send a text or an email.
That's true. I tried to drown myself because I couldn't believe it was real life. There's no way this is real life.
It was almost...
Oh, the ice fishing bikini
Were they in uniform?
Yes, of course.
I had a feeling. I just wanted confirmation.
What else is going on before we go? I know, Josh, you've got an exciting day today.
Yeah, I'm going on a ride-along today. I've been looking forward to the first of two weeks in a row. Some listeners were nice enough to invite me to go on ride-alongs. I really enjoy it. I haven't done one in a long time. My partner and I were going to be trying to keep the streets safe, so we'd ask that everybody behave.
Your partner?
Yeah, my partner and I, when we're out there in the cop car, we're driving around our squad.
When you become part of a ride-along, you are instantly a partner?
Well, yeah, my partner and I.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm laughing about something else.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I was thinking of a joke.
It was kind of like you were acting like I was being ridiculous.
No, it was a joke that Ashley told me earlier.
Me and all our fellow peace officers out there just want everyone to stay safe.
Okay.
If we could get one thing out to you, we'd like you to stay safe this weekend.
Did you mention where you're going to be?
So today I'm going to be in Lakeville. I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be, it's really cool of the department to let me come out there. Shank's wife, Gordon Shank, our regular trooper, is a Lakeville police officer. So maybe I get a chance to run into her.
Well, there you go.
Say hello.
I'm excited for you. This ain't your first. You've done a few of these before.
Oh, yeah, plenty of them. I want to keep it boring. So if you're committing a crime in Lakeville today, just go to a different city.
I have a feeling that the word is going to spread that Josh is going to be on the mean streets of Lakeville today, and everyone's going to stay inside.
Staying inside is the right thing to do. As an avid endorsement, that is the right thing to do.
Good luck to you, Cubby.
Thank you. Yeah, and thanks to Lakeville for letting me come out there.
Boy, when we're back on Monday, we're going to be maybe looking at a totally different world.
You think so?
That was a reference to the weather.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So everyone try to be careful this weekend.
Yeah, like my fellow officers, and I would say. Congratulations to Pipe Layer 15 Jesus, who passed his journeyman plumber state test. Now this morning he's taking a city comp test, so good luck. Shout out to Nate Outdoors Jesus from Box Tossin' Jesus. What up to Imagineering Machine and their lead machinist, Original Jeremy, a.k.a. OJ. His birthday's tomorrow, and congrats on becoming a new grandpa this week from Little Works Jesus. Shout out to the Dakota Turf crew plowing snow this morning from Spray and Pray Jesus.
More like the Dakota Smurf crew.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Got him.
Bunch of bums, Wapple said.
Yeah.
Wapple, we're trying to wrap up the week on a positive note. That's no way to be. Happy 13th to Big Eye Jr. from Dad. Happy 20th to Anthony today from Mom and Dad, retired Air Force Jesus. And Joe the Plumber texted in a happy 27th birthday shout-out to his little cousin Maverick. Tickets to the July 29th WWE Monday Night Raw show at XL Energy Center go on sale today at 10 a.m. But right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, if you text CHAMP, C-H-A-M-P, to 651-989-9393, you get a shot to win tickets for free, furnished by our friends at XL Energy Center. Then after 5 with Pablo, listen, text, and win for WWE Monday Night Raw tickets all weekend, and then possibly level up to ringside seats along with the WWE prize pack. Have a great weekend.
The 93X FM Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.